Test.
Check 1 2. Check.
Test.
Test.
Really soft on
You sound
here.
a little louder than me. Yeah.
Both of them sound soft. At least on this. Let me check input volume on these. Test.
Test 1 2. Check.
Still pretty quiet. I'm gonna try boosting system preferences on the computer. Test.
Kettleers warm up with Craig Mraz.
I think we're solid. Yeah, this is solid. Cool. All right. Yeah.
All right, yeah, we're good. Yeah, I can do that. Oh wow, the sun's coming out.
Now I get it.
Now it's at. Yeah.
Can't remember.
All right. Well, yeah, we're echoing right now. This is in, right?
We didn't change anything. I'm just trying to figure out the computer audio.
Must be the iMic. That could be it.
Oh, that'd be great.
Do you know what time like we were starting like announcements and stuff like that? Like I know the game's at 5, but what time are we starting like the pregame stuff?
Like right now.
Like right now?
Yeah.
Okay. What about like? No, I mean like PA. Yeah, like PA
Yo.
I have no idea.
Thank you.
All right. Let me try this again.
Is it umpires? Letizio. Ooh, he's stunk last year. What'd you say? Yep. Wait, what do you want from them? Yo. Oh.
.2014 Cotuit Kettleers baseball hits the air in 3, 2, 1.
Wiseman hits that out into deep right field. Pickens goes back on it. He's at the wall. Good! A 3-run bomb by Rhett Wiseman. And this game is tied at 7-1. Stubbs is going to send that one into right field. And the Cotuit Kettleers will live to see another day. Game 3 is tomorrow.
2014 Cotuit Kettleers baseball lives here on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Now, with the Kettleers warm-up, here's Brendan Glasheen.
Not a rain cloud in the sky this afternoon here at Lowell Park. Greg Moraz, Brendan Glasheen, Cotuit Kettleers baseball right here on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. A 5 p.m. start time between these Kettleers and the YD Red Sox. Greg, an 0-2 start to the season, a day off yesterday due to rain for the Kettleers as well as YD, but the eye-popping thing for these Kettleers, an 0-2 start, some miscommunication late in the game, and it's really come down to pitch selection and costly mistakes in the infield defensively that's caused these first 2 losses.
Well, you have 4 combined errors in the first 2 games, Brendan, and nobody is going to win when they are making 4 errors over a span of 2 games. I think more than anything else, though, one-run ball games are obviously something that can go either which way, and the game that they lost in Hyannis on Wednesday opening night, that's understandable. Jeff Kinley lost a little bit of control. He walks in what ended up being the winning run, but it's very hard to predict that you can go up 5-4 in the bottom of the 8th inning and then give up the go-ahead 2 RBI triple to Florida State's Ben DeLuzio and end up losing the game 6-5 like that. That's a really, really difficult way to lose a ball game. But like we said with Jeremy Taylor on the broadcast after the game, they've played 7 and then subsequently 8 2/3 good innings for most of the season so far. It's just haven't been able to put together all 9 innings at a time, and that's what's going to be what gets this team's monkey off of its back.
The first 2 games of this season started against the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. Game 1 was at McKeon Park, a 3-2 final, and on Thursday night, a 6-5 loss in which 4 of the runs for the Harbor Hawks, Greg, 4 were unearned. Of the 6 they scored total, the Kettleers went with 5 pitchers in the game. Matthew Vogel made the start, went 2 1/3 innings, allowed 1 hit, 2 runs, both were unearned, walked 2 and struck out 2. Used 4 more pitchers following that. Mason Klotz comes in and a clutch at bat for the Harbor Hawks to walk away with the victory, but that's fresh out of their heads now. Before the game today, our own Greg Moraz caught up with head coach Mike Roberts to discuss his expectations for today's game and how the Kettleers can get off the schneid in Game 3 of the season. It's time for the Roberts Report on the Kettleers warm-up. Standing by with Mike Roberts is Greg Moraz.
Welcome into the Roberts Report. I'm alongside head coach Mike Roberts, as always. Coach, yesterday got rained out, but the guys were still here. What were you guys working on yesterday in the cage specifically?
Well, I guess you could say we were working on hitting spitters because it was raining while the whole time that we were doing it. But we weren't really. It was raining on and off pretty hard, so we weren't working on anything specific in the cage. The guys wanted to get a few reps. Pitchers did go out and work on a few things in the outfield, just playing catch. But it was so hard on and off that we really as far as getting work in, no, we got a little repetition in.
Coach, 2 losses in 2 one-run ball games. Do you think there's something that mentally you need to ingrain in your guys in order to have that better mentality in one-run ball games?
No, I think I do a better job coaching. I think the players are fine.
Now, you've got Blake Stevens going out on the hill today. I assume you've seen a few of his bullpen sessions. What can we expect from him?
I've only seen one bullpen session, and honestly, what you'll see is what I'll see for the first time. I honestly don't. I have no idea what he's taking out there today, so we'll just kind of all watch him at the same time and see what happens.
One of the guys through 2 games that's made a big impact is DC Arendis. DC's father played for you at North Carolina. What do you think his impact has meant to the team so far? He's hitting over 500 in his first 2 ball games.
Well, I'm very glad he's swinging the bat, but what I'm more interested in is getting the defense straightened out. He's been a little shaky on the defensive side. He had a great spring at South Carolina. I think Coach Holbrook said he made 4 errors, all he made the whole spring. But for some reason, he struggled a little bit here on the defensive side. So everybody can hit. Not everybody can hit that well right now, but we need to play as a team. We need to get 0 errors on the board, and that's what we're kind of emphasizing.
Are you trying to use as few pitchers as possible today because of the fact you have to go to Chatham tomorrow and play 14 innings?
No, that doesn't make any difference. That has no effect. We play 1 game at a time, and all 44 count the same. And so, no, we'll use as many pitchers as we need to, and then we'll figure out tomorrow.
What's your evaluation of this team through the first 2 games?
I really don't have an evaluation. It's just way too early. We got too many moving parts. We got 6, 7 other players coming in the next 3 days. So, it would be not very wise for me to evaluate the team. I just sit and watch. What a lot of people don't realize is my job is to help each player individually, and the players need to decide if, I'd rather you ask them that question, what's your evaluation of the team, because I evaluate each individual, and I let the players evaluate the team as a whole.
Awesome. Thank you, Coach. Good luck today.
All right, thanks.
That was
A proud sponsor of the Cape League for 14 seasons, Baseball Factory holds over 600 events nationwide for players age 8 to 18, including 3 training weeks here in the Cape. Did you know that 99% of Division I college programs have a Baseball Factory alum on their roster? Please visit baseballfactory.com to learn how you can build your way to greatness. Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League and for refreshing yourself with ice-cold Coca-Cola products. Coca-Cola Bottling Company of Cape Cod employs more than 50 full-time employees and more than 25 seasonal. Every year, more than 15 college students get great experience and support their education by working at Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod. Reward yourself. Have a Coke. We're back at Lowell Park. Greg Mirage joined by myself, Brendan Glass-Sheen. The Kettleers look for victory number 1 of the season in front of its home crowd here at Lowell Park. It takes on the YD Red Sox. Both teams off to an 0-2 start. And Greg, it's definitely going to be a situation today where we've seen solid pitching early on in ball games from the Kettleers, but now can they finish and have a complete game? As we talked about just moments ago on Kettleers warm-up, Jeremy Taylor joined us after Thursday night's game against Hyannis, and he told us we've played almost 2 complete games, 8 2/3 worth of a baseball game on Thursday night. Today, Blake Stevens goes to the mound for Cotuit. In my eyes, a Birmingham Southern Alabama guy, pitched in D3 ball, but he made 13 starts this past season with the Panthers. He was terrific.
Look at the numbers. 8-2 with a 1.02 ERA, 13 starts, 2 complete games, 88 in the 3rd innings pitched. Brendan, it's not often that you see somebody start only 13 games and pitch that many innings. I think he's a guy, and obviously I asked the question of Coach Roberts in the Kettleers, in the Roberts report, are you concerned about using guys up for tomorrow? Well, maybe he said that he wasn't, but obviously, with 14 innings tomorrow, there is a concern to try and use as few pitchers as possible. So Blake Stevens is a guy that, hopefully, based on his college numbers, you can go out and get 5-6 innings out of a guy. We saw Hyannis do that with Nick Deeg in the last game that the Kettleers played against the Harbor Hawks. Obviously, there's a rarity in terms of how long you go that early in a year, but I mean, based on Stevens' numbers, I wouldn't expect him to go less than 5.
Yeah, the numbers that stand out, over 88 innings pitched this past season as a Panther, the ERA just over 1. So reliable in terms of innings, also reliable to not allow many runs. He's going up against Michael Murray of Florida Gulf Coast. And Greg, I know you have a passion for the Chicago White Sox. There's a guy that went to Florida Gulf Coast that's pitching awfully well for the Chi Sox right now. It's Chris Sale. You talked to the broadcasters. We're going to hear from the broadcast team of YD coming up here on Kettleers Warm-Up. There was a comparison drawn between Michael Murray and Chris Sale. The numbers also stand out for Murray. A big year at Florida Gulf Coast, 13-1 and 15 starts with an ERA just under 2.
Well, also the other teammate factor is that Chris Sale played for the YD Red Sox back in 2009 before he was drafted by the Chicago White Sox in 2010. I think also a little ominous that the YD Red Sox logo is basically just a red White Sox logo, so a lot of comparisons.
Which is often confused, as many think it's the Red Sox.
Coincidental or not, but you know, Michael Murray is a guy that probably, as we talked with the broadcasters you'll hear later on, he's the ace of this guy's staff. He's got incredible stuff. He was the Atlantic Sun All-Freshman Pitcher of the Year. He was the Atlantic Sun Pitcher of the Year and first-team All-Conference here in 2014. He was that All-Freshman back in 2013. But, I mean, you look at these numbers, 15 starts, 107 innings pitched, and an ERA below 2. I mean, he also had 79 strikeouts in 107 innings pitched. I mean, that tells you that he's got strikeout stuff, and he's a pretty decent-sized guy, 6'2", 210 pounds, and Scott Pickler seems to like the pipeline to Florida Gulf Coast, and I think this is the type of guy that YD wants out there to try and get their first win of the season.
Yeah, deadly pitching matchup, no question. Blake Stevens against Michael Murray, and of course, one highlight of these last 2 games we touched on earlier on at Kettleers Warm-Up. Greg Mraz, Brendan Glasheen here with you, Kettleers fans. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at Cotuit Kettleers for in-game updates and analysis. Also check us out, Kettleers.org, for post-game reaction and post-game articles of today's game. DC Arendis touched on the fact that errors and things like that have been an issue. Well, there's been 4 errors the last couple of games, and DC's committed 2. We caught up with DC Arendis for Hot Off the Kettle for today's game.
See which Kettleer is heating up on today's edition of Hot Off the Kettle with Brendan Glasheen.
Okay, now joining us here on Hot Off the Kettle, it's DC Arendis, second baseman for the Cotuit Kettleers. DC, an 0-2 start to the season for you guys, but you're back at it today, a rain out yesterday. What's the feeling like right now in the clubhouse despite the 0-2 start?
Yeah, I think everybody's excited to play again as we have been the past 2 games. I think we're going to try to build off what we did well in the first 2 games and learn from what we struggled with.
You're 5 of your first 7 here. You've been batting in the top half of the order throughout the first couple of games of the season. What's it been like for you seeing the baseball?
I think our entire lineup is trying to be aggressive early in the count. Most of the pitchers we face have tried to challenge us with fastballs early, so I think we're going to continue to keep that approach, and hopefully it'll help us win tonight.
Your dad, Dave, played for Coach Roberts back in North Carolina. What's it been like playing for Coach Roberts? I know for him, he makes him feel another generation older, but what's that feeling like playing for Coach Roberts, what you've heard from your dad and what you've experienced?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm grateful for the opportunity. My dad's told me stories about how Brian was the bat boy when he was playing for Coach Roberts, so it's pretty cool. And Coach Roberts has called me Dave a couple of times by mistake, so I think he's still got that etched in his brain too. But it's been a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to learning from Coach Roberts some more.
Now, you've done very well at the plate. You've had some mishaps, though, over at second base in the field. Is it just a matter of a mental situation, or is it just you just not getting in front of the baseball as well as you should? I mean, is it just something to be fixable, no problem?
Yeah, absolutely. I think I've just been working with Coach Roberts in pregame, keeping my feet moving. I think my feet have kind of got stuck in the mud almost, and you can't do that in the infield, and it shows one little hop can cause an error, and I think we're just going to work on keeping our feet moving and working towards first base.
Okay, and DC, last thing, expectations for today. Of course, a win would be hopeful, but what do you think the number one thing needs to be done to get the win today for you guys?
I think our pitchers are going to come out and set the tone like they have the past couple games, and offensively we've got to get the bunts down and execute when we have runners in scoring position. So that's what we know we've got to do, and we're going to try to do that tonight.
Okay, DC Arendis, thanks for joining us, man.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, we're going to head back inside the store. More Kettleers warm-up on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
Welcome into Broadcaster's Corner, where we see what's going on with the opposing team from the guys who know them best. Standing by with the Yarmouth Dennis broadcast team, here's Greg Mraz.
Welcome on into Broadcasters Corner. My guest on the pregame today is Steve Goldberg, play-by-play broadcaster for the YD Red Sox. And Steve, YD has a roster that is loaded with big D1 talent, but through the first 2 games, YD has struggled to score runs and has seemingly been outpitched in every single game. What do you think's been going on with these guys?
Well, YD has ran into some tough matchups in the first 2 games. They faced James Mullery of Harwich, and then in the last game, Kevin McKenna of Falmouth. Ran into 2 very hot starting pitchers, and the Bats really had some trouble getting going. Game 1, YD put up 2 runs in the 9th inning, and that was it. They lost 7-2 to Harwich. The last game shut out by Falmouth 3-0, and only got 2 hits, only one of them off the starting pitcher McKenna, who had a no-hitter going through 4+ innings.
Now you talk about today's starting pitcher, Michael Murray. He was the Atlantic Sun Pitcher of the Year, obviously Florida Gulf Coast with Chris Sale and other former YD Red Sox, a real new tradition of pitching down there. What type of stuff are you expecting to see? What pitches does he throw, and what should Cotuit hitters expect?
Well, Michael Murray's the ace in this rotation, and he's going to come out here tonight and give Cotuit's lineup a very tough evening, I expect. 13 wins for Florida Gulf Coast this past season. That led the nation, that mark. A 185 ERA as well. He led the ace Sun in ERA and in strikeouts. You know, the best pitcher out of that conference. And YD had a pitcher a while back, Chris Sale, from Florida Gulf Coast as well. So maybe Michael Murray, the next in line of Florida Gulf Coast pitchers coming through the YD organization.
One guy that has really been a big focus for YD is Andrew Stevenson, the outfielder first baseman from LSU. He has put up some monster numbers for the Tigers this season. What have you seen from him so far that makes you think that he'll be the best offensive player possibly in the Eastern Division?
Well, he might be. He's off to a little bit of a slow start, but the whole lineup is. You know, it's really hard to pick out an individual hitter at this point. Stevenson didn't start in the first game, but he did get the start in center field in Game 2 nights ago, Thursday night against Falmouth. Went 0 for 4 in that game, so maybe we'll see him break out of his slump. But a lot of times it takes these hitters a bit of time to transition over, using wooden bats for the first time, and also going from LSU, who won the SEC championship and made a run in the NCAA tournament, the College World Series, and going now to the Cape League, new teammates, facing new pitchers for the first time. It might take him a little bit of time to get acclimated, as it looks like it has been for this whole lineup. Michael Foster's another guy to look for. He's from Northeastern University, a very surprising start for him. He had 3 hits in the opener against Harwich, including a monster triple to center field. He's a guy to watch for. There's some more power with A.J. Simcox and Vincent Jackson from Tennessee. So a bunch of hitters throughout the lineup, really, for YD, who just need to get going and need to get into some kind of a rhythm.
Steve, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking forward to a great game tonight.
That was Steve Goldberg, broadcast for the YD Red Sox. We'll be back with lineups and first pitch here on the Kettleers warm-up right after. Reebok is an official sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Stop in at Reebok's outlet store on Route 28 in West Yarmouth for great pricing on shoes, apparel, and accessories. The outlet features Reebok's latest and greatest technology such as ZigTech, RealFlex, and more. Reebok, live with fire. Rockland Trust, a community bank serving families and businesses throughout Massachusetts, is proud to partner with the Cape Cod Baseball League. At Rockland Trust, each relationship matters, and we're committed to supporting our communities, customers, and colleagues. To find out more, visit rocklandtrust.com.
It's time for Kettleers Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Now, with lineups and first pitch, here's Brendan Glasheen.
Now, turned out to be a beautiful afternoon at Lowell Park. Game 3 of the season for the Cotuit Kettleers with Greg Moroz. I'm Brendan Glasheen. The YD Red Sox have their bats and helmets ready to go, sporting the bright red jerseys and the white and red socks, along with the white pants and the red trim on the sides. They'll be ready to go. We'll have the national anthem coming up as well. But first, of course, we want to bring you your starting lineups, brought to you by Chatham Bars Inn. Chatham Bars Inn is in their 100th anniversary, so be sure to check in with Chatham Bars Inn, where you can stay on the Cape. Leading things off tonight for the YD Red Sox from LSU, Andrew Stevenson, he's in center field. Oklahoma State's Donnie Walton back second, he's at short. Michael Foster bats third. He's in left field. Ryan Hissey, the DH from William and Mary, bats cleanup. From Illinois, Jason Goldine, he bats fifth. He's at catcher. Rob Fonseca bats sixth. He's at first base. Virginia military student Jordan Tarsevich bats seventh. He's at second. Brendan Lund is in right field batting eighth, and batting ninth tonight for the YD Red Sox is A.J. Simcox. He'll be at third base.
And on the mound for the YD Red Sox, as we mentioned earlier, Michael Murray, number 34, the ace of the staff, a 13-1 record and a 1.85 ERA.
Defensively for the Cotuit Kettleers, left to right in the outfield, Jeremy Taylor, Jake Fincher, Richard Carthon. Left to right in the infield, Logan Taylor, Kyle Holder, D.C. Arendis, and Brendan Hendricks. Catching today for Blake Stevens, the starter for Cotuit. Catching is Jamison Fisher. Again, the starting lineups are brought to you by the Chatham Bars Inn. The lineup for your Cotuit Kettleers, batting first, Jake Fincher, he's in center field. D.C. Arendis bats second, he'll be at second base. Logan Taylor of Texas A&M batting third, he's at third base. Jamison Fisher of Louisiana Southeastern is batting fourth, he's at catcher. Brendan Hendricks of the University of San Francisco bats fifth, he's at first. Jeremy Taylor of East Tennessee State bats sixth, he's in left field. San Diego's Kyle Holder bats seventh, he's at short. Steve Carkenny of the Masters College bats eighth, DHing tonight. And Richard Carthon of Tulane bats ninth, he rounds out the order and plays right field.
And the starting pitcher tonight for the Cotuit Kettleers is Blake Stevens from Birmingham Southern. He was 8-2 on the season with a 1.02 ERA, a .82 whip, so under one walk and hit per innings pitched. He led the 2014 Birmingham Southern team in innings pitched, games started, wins, strikeouts, and ERA, and also he had 2 complete games in 2014.
The starting lineups being announced now by our PA announcer Roy Reese. But Greg, quickly before the national anthem hits on, who would you say in this pitching matchup? You have 2 great starters that made more than a handful of starts. 10+ starts for Blake Stevens, 10+ starts for Michael Murray. This to me seems like the intriguing matchup. These 2 starters, of course, Stevens is a temporary player from Birmingham. He's in here. Michael Murray, another player from Florida Gulf Coast that's had a tremendous regular season. He's going to be a guy on board with YD throughout most of the year. Who has the edge in this game tonight?
I think that for the sake of argument, you have to give it to Michael Murray. Michael Murray is a guy that you expected to be here. He's a contract guy for the Armit Dennis Red Sox, and as you heard Steve Goldberg say in the broadcaster's corner, this guy is the ace of the staff. He's out here for a reason. And Scott Pickler has a lot of faith in his pitchers. He has had a lot of very highly touted pitchers in the past. Obviously, Chris Sale and some guys on the team last season. Daniel Berg, although he never ended up coming to YD, the closer for the 2013 national champion UCLA Bruins, he was a guy that was probably the highest touted relief prospect in the Cape League. So I got to give the edge to Murray just because of the fact he's experienced. Blake Stevens is the guy who comes from a Division III school. I mean, it's very difficult to calm the nerves in situations where you're pitching in the #1 summer league in the country on the second day at home.
Okay, our national anthem is on hand. Coming up next here on Kettleers Warm-Up, we'll bring you your starting lineups and defensive alignment for the Kettleers. Again, Cape Cod Baseball League action rolling on. Kettleers and YD Red Sox coming up on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
Earn a bachelor's or master's degree, complete a certificate, or take a single course through the Division of Continuing Education and Graduate Studies at Curry College. Classes run days, evenings, and weekends in Milton and Plymouth. To learn more about programs in business, criminal justice, education, nursing, and more, visit curry.edu.
For a quarter century on Cape Cod, Eye Health Services has been providing the best in eye care to our community. Is seeing the game not as clear this year? Having trouble seeing the stat sheet? Let us help you see all of the game up close and in the outfield. Make an appointment at one of our 10 convenient locations on Cape Cod or the South Shore. Eye Health Services. We are here for you.
Reebok is an official sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Stop in at Reebok's outlet store on Route 28 in West Yarmouth for great pricing on shoes, apparel, and accessories. The outlet features Reebok's latest and greatest technology such as ZigTech, RealFlex, and more. Reebok, live with fire. Friendly's Ice Cream, a timeless tradition since 1935, is proud to sponsor the 2014 Cape Cod Baseball League season. Baseball and ice cream, two of America's favorite pastimes.
A proud sponsor of the Cape League for 14 seasons, Baseball Factory holds over 600 events nationwide for players age 8 to 18, including 3 training weeks here in the Cape. Did you know that 99% of Division I college programs have a Baseball Factory alum on their roster? Please visit baseballfactory.com to learn how you can build your way to greatness. The 99 Restaurants has 9 real-size entrees for only $9.99. There are big, hearty portions you can count on all day, every day, like the balsamic grilled chicken or the tender and juicy top sirloin steak. The 99 Restaurants, proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Welcome back to Lowell Park with Greg Moraz. I'm Brendan Glasheen. The Cotuit Kettleers on the verge of taking the field after tonight's ceremonial first pitch. Head coach of YD, Scott Pickler, and Mike Roberts, head coach of the Kettleers, meet with the officiating crew. We'll get to the officials momentarily, but let's give you the YD Red Sox starting 9 once again. Leading things off in center field, Andrew Stevenson. Batting second, Donnie Walton. He's at short tonight for the Red Sox. Batting third, Michael Foster in left field. Ryan Hissey, the DH, bats cleanup. Jason Goldstein bats fifth. He'll do the catching tonight. Rob Fonseca bats sixth. He's at first base. Jordan Tarsevich bats seventh. He's at second base. Brendan Lund's in right, batting eighth. And A.J. Simcox rounds out the order for the YD Red Sox. He's at third.
And now we will bring you your defensive alignment, sponsored by the Bank of Cape Cod. From left to right in the outfield, Jeremy Taylor's in left, Jake Fincher is in center, Richard Carthon is in right. Around the horn from third to first, Logan Taylor at third, Kyle Holder is at short, DC Arendis at second, and Brendan Hendricks is at first. Behind the plate is the catcher, Jamison Fisher. And on the bump tonight is the right-hander from Birmingham Southern, number 30, Blake Stevens.
And Stevens, as we reiterated a lot throughout this pregame show, a D3 school pitcher from Birmingham Southern, which is located in Alabama. For the Panthers this past year, in 13 starts, he went 8-2 in 88-plus innings pitched, allowed 10 earned runs of 17 total, allowed 60 hits. He walked just 10 and struck out 79 batters, a tremendous year, an ERA just over 1. Tonight's officiating crew is brought to you by Friendly's, because why, Greg? We want our umpires to be friendly.
We definitely want our umpires to be friendly to us.
With us. So Friendly's Ice Cream is the official sponsor of tonight's officiating crew. Behind the plate tonight, Tony Letizio at first base, Mickey Garcia, and down the third base line much of the night, Rick Emerson. Coach Roberts and Coach Pickler are still discussing the ground rules with the officiating crew. The Kettleers sporting the home whites, white pants, white jerseys with the maroon pinstripes going up and down from the body to the legs. And the maroon caps, Jamison Fisher rocking the Oakland A's catcher's gear, just about to take the field. 5 o'clock just exactly now at Lowell Park. We want to thank Coach Mike Roberts as well as DC Arendis and Steve Goldberg, the broadcaster of the YD Red Sox, for joining us today on today's edition of the Kettleers warm-up, which you can hear every game this season a half hour prior to first pitch. Of course, every home game here at Lowell Park, you'll hear that at 4:30. So today, Greg, again, the Kettleers as well as the YD Red Sox are both 0-2 in search of victory number 1 today. The Kettleers coming off 2 consecutive losses to the Hyannis Harbor Hawks, and the YD Red Sox have lost games to both Harwich and Falmouth. You know, which team today is more desperate for a win? I guess you'd say the Red Sox, based on how well Cotuit did last season?
Well, I mean, here's the thing, Brendan. This is a tale of 2 different teams throughout the first 2 games. Obviously, 2 games is such a small sample size, but YD, not only have they not won a game, they haven't been close to winning a game. They've only scored, I believe, 3 runs in their first 2 ball games, and that's really what Scott Pickler needs to focus on, is getting their offense going. For the Kettleers, it's a little bit different because of the fact that they have played well enough in both games so far this season in order to win those ball games. Anytime you're involved in a one-run ball game, you have a chance to win that ball game. So I think YD is a little bit more desperate for a win today because they haven't come close in either of their first two games to even nearing having a lead.
The Red Sox went 20, 22, and 2 last year to score 42 points in the Eastern Division. For head coach Scott Pickler, it's his 17th year to Mike Roberts' 11. Pickler has won 3 Cape Cod Baseball League titles in 04, 06, and 07. It's kind of funny because he won 3 championships in 5 seasons. Well, Coach Roberts hopes to do that this year. Of course, Coach notched one in 2010 and last year, so talking about 2 of the most staid coaches in the Cape League going up against each other. These guys are familiar with one another.
Absolutely. These are 2 of the more experienced coaches in the Cape League. Scott Pickler, unlike Mike Roberts, still does have a regular season coaching job. He is the head coach at Cypress Community College in Southern California, which has turned out some pretty good prospects over the years. It's actually a list that's probably too long to name right now, but Cypress College, and you can tell that Pickler has a pipeline for some pretty good talent.
And we're ready for baseball as Blake Stevens, the right-hander, is into his windup. The first pitch to Andrew Stevenson. A fastball just a bit outside. Of course, the numbers for Stevens we've mentioned several times. 8-2 this past year with Birmingham Southern. That's a D3 school in Alabama. The 1-0 pitch to Stevenson. Swung on and missed. Got him with the breaking ball at 78 on the gun. 1-1.
Stevenson on the season hit .335. He led the team in batting average. Did not have a home run, though, despite being 6 foot, 188 pounds.
0 for 5 to start the year on the Cape. Takes a strike on the outside half, 1-2.
This is a guy, though, Brendan, that last year in the Northwoods League with the Lakeshore Chinooks hit .363 in 40 games.
The 1-2 from Stevenson. Misses low. Stevens, rather. Blake, a temporary contract player. He's a junior that just finished again another stint with Birmingham Southern, getting the start for Coach Roberts today. His 2-2 is on the way, the pitch. Chopped over towards second. Arendis gathers and controls, fires to first in time. A solid start defensively for DC Arendis. We had him on the airwaves in Kettleers warm-up for Hot Off the Kettle, and DC was talking about his issues defensively. First play goes to him. He takes care of it.
And also Coach Roberts on the Roberts Report says that he likes the way that DC is swinging the bat, but he's got to fix up his defense. Only 4 errors this season at South Carolina, and he just needs to shore some things up. That's a good start.
Brings up the Oklahoma State Sooner. Donnie Walton takes a breaking ball for a strike. First pitch to Walton, 0-1. Drafted in the 36th round of the 2012 MLB draft by the Mets. 0-1, cuts inside for a ball, 1-1.
This guy, one of the most talented players in the Big 12, Brendan. 2014 first team All Big 12.
1-1 from Stevens. Breaking ball, drops too low and inside by the ankles. The red and black Nikes worn by Walton. His father, Rob, is the Oklahoma State pitching coach, and he played with the Orioles back in his heyday. 2-1 pitch. Walton thought about offering, should have. It's a strike call, 2-2.
I think it's funny that you have a father who's a pitching coach, and a lot of times it's like father, like son. Well, Donnie Walton's not a pitcher, so looks like he decided to take a different path.
Rob Walton must have been all over him throughout his career. 2-2, a breaking ball, swung on and missed. Blake Stevens, 2 up, 2 down, gets his first strikeout of the afternoon. 2 down, top of the first for Cotuit.
Now you bring up a guy in Michael Foster who has had himself a pretty darn good season for Northeastern. Another Northeastern guy that was in the Cape last season, Aaron Barbosa, played for Harwich.
2 Northeastern players in the lineups today for both teams. First pitch from Stevens, drops a bit outside to the right-handed hitting Foster. 1-0. Foster in open stance, has protective guarding on his left shin. Chops it into the backstop foul. Count evens 1-1. Foster, a 2014 preseason All-CAA honorable mention. Batted .299 with 3 homers and 36 RBIs. Stevens holds the glove by his belt into his windup, brings the glove up, the pitch. Breaking ball doesn't drop the way he'd like it. 2-1. Foster from Ontario, Canada. Thus far, 3 for 7 on the year. 2-1, hammered to the right side, foul. Just above the away stands at Lowell Park.
Foster in his freshman season in 2013 made the all-rookie team and was preseason 2014 Colonial Athletic Association all-honorable mention.
Fisher distributes the sign. Stevens into the windup, the pitch. It's popped up just above us, out of play. 2-2 comes once more. Bit of a shift going on here for Cotuit. Kyle Holder has shifted significantly to his left, playing Foster on the pull. And Logan Taylor as well has shifted a bit. The pitch. Outside corner, run him up! 2 strikeouts in the first inning for Blake Stevens. A 1-2-3 start sends Cotuit to the dugout. We played a half inning at Lowell Park. No score between Cotuit and YD. You're listening to Cotuit Kettleers Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
Happy 100th birthday to the Chatham Bars Inn, one of the world's most honored resorts. The Chatham Bars Inn offers the Cape's finest dining and oceanfront views. For a time you'll always remember, visit the Chatham Bars Inn. For a quarter century on Cape Cod, Eye Health Services has been providing the best in eye care to our community. Is seeing the game not as clear this year? Having trouble seeing the stat sheet? Let us help you see all of the game up close and in the outfield. Make an appointment at one of our 10 convenient locations on Cape Cod or the South Shore. Eye Health Services. We are here for you.
A 1-2-3, top of the first inning for the Cotuit Kettleers. Sends the bats to the dugout with Greg Moraz. I'm Brendan Glasheen. Today's lineup for the Kettleers is brought to you by the Chatham Bars Inn. Jake Fincher leads things off. He's in center field. DC Arendis bats second. He's at second base. Logan Taylor, the third baseman, bats third. Jamison Fisher in the cleanup hole, batting and doing the catching tonight. Brendan Hendricks bats fifth. He's at first base. Jeremy Taylor bats sixth. He's in left field. Kyle Holder in the 7 hole at shortstop. Steve Carkenny, the DH, batting eighth. And Richard Carthon rounds out the order. He's in right field.
And it's now time for the YD Red Sox defensive alignment, brought to you by the Bank of Cape Cod. From left to right in the outfield, Michael Foster, Andrew Stevenson, and Brennan Lund. Around the horn from third to first, A.J. Simcox, Donnie Walton, Jordan Tarsevich, and Rob Fonseca. Jason Goldstein from the University of Illinois doing the catching. And the right-hander on the bump from Florida Gulf Coast, number 34, Michael Murray.
And we've highlighted this pitching matchup quite a bit in these early innings, as well as Kettleers warm-up. Michael Murray of Florida Gulf Coast, a monster season, 15 starts, he won 13 of them with an ERA of 1.85. And a bunt defense issued by YD catcher Jason Goldstein. Also shifts right fielder Brennan Lund a bit to the right side. Corners even at the bag to start the game. A 45-degree angle to start the at-bat. Murray's first pitch. Fastball at the knees, inside corner to Jake Fincher. The count 0-1. Jake Fincher, a returning Kettleer, a 2013 Cape League All-Star. Batted second in Thursday night's game. Hacks at this one, cuts it foul, out of play.
Fincher already 3 for 4 to start the year, and it looks as if he's seeing the ball well out of the pitcher's hands. He's not really pulling out at all. He's staying on the ball long, which is why he's making really good contact at the plate.
The Charlotte, North Carolina native awaits the 0-2, a bit outside. 1-2 in his season with NC State, .267 average. No homers, but 25 runs batted in. Struck out just 33 times in 202 at-bats. The 1-2, breaking ball drops low and outside to the right-handed hitting Fincher, 2-2.
Fincher's a guy that doesn't have a lot of power. Over the fence, that is, but he's got good gap power. He's got a lot of pop, just doesn't hit the ball real high on the bat, which is why he'll get a lot of extra base hits because of his ability to find the gaps and his speed.
Murray's 2-2. Chopped on the inside of the bat, may have cracked and broke. The pitcher on his way, Murray, makes the catch and follow ground along the first base line. 2 down, or 1 down rather, in this first inning for Cotuit.
That was a very weirdly hit ball. Almost looks as if it hit just above where Fincher was holding his hands. The ball didn't get that high, and it was a play that if the ball was normally about as high as a normal infield fly, it would have been an easy play, but Murray had to sprint over towards the first base line in order to grab that ball and made a basket catch on it.
DC Arendis bats, skies it to left. Works its way out of play by the Cotuit bullpen, 0-1. Murray has an early advantage. DC, 5 of his first 7 here on the Cape. The Gamecock waits the pitch. Drops too low, almost had the corner, 1-1.
DC through his first 2 games, 5 for 7. You really can't ask for much better than that, Brendan.
Murray gets his sign from Goldstein. The righty fires. Upstairs for a ball outside to the left-handed hitting Arendis. 2-1.
Murray's fastball touching in the low 90s right now, been ranging from 90 to 92 early on.
Arendis joined us today on Hot Off the Kettle and Kettleers warm-up. 2-1. Hacked and hit right into the backstop in front of our broadcast station, just in front, a bit lower. 2-2 to Arendis. Much of our conversation with Mike Roberts as well as DC reiterated his father Dave playing for Coach Roberts back at North Carolina. 2-2, a breaking ball slices a bit low, count runs full.
And I think a key, in addition to Dave Arendis, a really good relationship between Mike Roberts and South Carolina head coach Chad Holbrook. You heard Coach Roberts reference Coach Holbrook in the Roberts report, so you know that this is the first place where South Carolina players are sent.
The payoff pitch, grounded up the middle, it's in for a base hit. DC Arendis is 5 of his first 8 with the Cotuit Kettleers. First hit, first base runner for Cotuit with 1 down in the bottom of the first.
And Arendis just does a really nice job there of taking a payoff pitch, really putting the hands right at the ball, and he sent that one pretty much dead up the middle. That's about as good a fundamental hitting as you can ask from a guy, and already 8 at-bats, he's 6 for 8. That goes to a 750 average, obviously early on, but still nobody else starting hotter than DC.
Brings up the Aggie, Logan Taylor. First pitch hacking over to short. Walton flips to Tarcevic, throw it across to first in time. 6-4-3 gets YD out of the first inning. And Cotuit strands a base runner. We're through 1 at Lowell Park. No score between the YD Red Sox and the Cotuit Kettleers. Cotuit Kettleer Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League and for refreshing yourself with ice-cold Coca-Cola products. Coca-Cola Bottling Company of Cape Cod employs more than 50 full-time employees and more than 25 seasonal. Every year, more than 15 college students get great experience and support their education by working at Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod. Reward yourself. Have a Coke. The Chatham Bar's Inn celebrates its 100th anniversary this year and is New England's premier oceanfront resort, a proud member of the leading hotels of the world. For a time you'll always remember, visit the Chatham Bar's Inn. Friendly's Ice Cream, a timeless tradition since 1935, is proud to be the official ice cream of the Cape Cod Baseball League and bring together 2 of America's favorite pastimes, baseball and ice cream. Reebok is an official sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Stop in at Reebok's outlet store on Route 28 in West Yarmouth for great pricing on shoes, apparel, and accessories. The outlet features Reebok's latest and greatest technologies, such as Zig Tech, Real Flex, and more. Reebok, live with fire. Scoreless ball game here at Lowell Park with Greg Moraz. I'm Brendan Glasheen. The Kettleers back on the field defensively. Blake Stevens Had a 1-2-3 top of the first with a pair of strikeouts. His last throw down to Jamison Fisher. He throws down across. And ready for the second inning to begin. 4, 5, and 6 coming up for the Red Sox. Ryan Hissey, the DH, to start things. Hissey is 0 for his first 4 with a walk and a strikeout for YD. The left-hander, the white pants all the way down, no socks showing. The red batting gloves, bit of an open stance. Fisher gives his sign. Stevens accepts into the windup. First pitch. Breaking ball towards the dirt, 1-0. Hissey, another Northeastern player, or William and Mary player rather, played in the same conference as Northeastern.
The Colonial Athletic Association. His father, Dave, also played there at William and Mary.
Conference mates with Michael Foster and Rob Phoenicia. The pitch swung on and missed. Fonseca, rather, I meant there. 1-2 now to Hissey.
Teammates with 2013 Harwich Mariner Ryan Lindemuth as well.
Stevens ahead in the count, 1-2. The righty into the windup. The pitch. Chopped ahead of us and hits a car. Silver Toyota.
That's a danger of this parking lot has been noted in years past. The cars are parked so close to the field that any ball that really gets over the fence is probably going to hit a vehicle.
Hissey asks for time. Straggles the bat in his left hand. Now cocks it over his left shoulder. 1-2 again. No frame attempt from Fisher. Gets it back to Stevens. 2-2.
Stevens' velocity isn't overly powerful, but he really works the zone well.
Fisher sets up outside. The pitch chopped down the right field line, foul. No play for Brendan Hendricks. We'll do 2-2 once more.
And that fastball, Brendan, only topped out at 86, so he's not really getting it up there, but he's putting a lot of movement on it, which is why balls haven't been hit very hard thus far.
2-2, foul into the mid, strike 3. Blake Stevens has struck out 3 of the first 4 batters of this ball game. 1 down in the top of the second. And Greg, I agree, does not have the hard stuff of a typical strikeout pitcher, but right now, Blake is getting the job done by way of the K.
3 strikeouts in his last 3 hitters, and all on balls that hitters really haven't come close to.
Stevens gets his sign to face Jason Goldstein of Illinois. Breaking ball drops in on the outside corner for a strike, 0-1. Goldstein is one of the monster hitters in this lineup from Illinois College, Illinois University. The 0-1 pitch. Chopped inside corner, foul. 0-2.
Goldstein as a catcher in the Big Ten Conference gets overlooked because he's probably the second best offensive hitter in terms of a catcher in the conference. The first obviously being Indiana's Kyle Schwarber, who will be moving on to bigger and better things as the 4th overall pick of the Chicago Cubs.
0-2 runs outside. Waste pitch from Stevens, 1-2. Last summer, Goldstein played in the Northwoods League in 2013. Out in the Midwest. Moved his way east, the 1-2. Did he go around? Yes, he did, says Letizio. Another strikeout for Blake Stevens. 4 of the first 5, 2 down. Top of the second.
I think that Stevens is putting enough movement on his ball, Brendan, where the hitters aren't really sure where it's going to end up. Goldstein, I think, thought that one was going to be a little bit more over the plate than it was, and it went right in on his hands. Where that ball crossed the plate, it was definitely not a strike.
Brings up Fonseca, the first baseman. First pitch outside, 1-0, and it's ironic because Stevens has gotten behind in the count early on in this game through the first 5 batters, has still found ways to come back and strike him out. The 1-0 to Fonseca, hacked to the right, dribbles foul behind the plate, 1-1. Fonseca missed all of this past year due to injury. Was a second team All-CAA in 2013. Again, another Northeastern player, the 1-1. Runs outside. Fonseca ahead of the count, 2-1.
He's a unique situation because a lot of these guys, they only have like a month or two layoff, but him, he's got a whole year.
2-1, slurves a bit outside. A 3-1 advantage for Blake Stevens, or for Fonseca, against Stevens. And it was wind up quickly, the pitch. Hammer to the right side, a long run for Carthon. Gets out of play. Just to the right of the YD bullpen. Just to the right of the 3:20 marker here at Lowell Park. Another payoff pitch on the way. Can Stevens strike out the side?
Going back to Fonseca for a sec, it's got to be hard when you miss an entire regular college baseball season due to injury to come to the Cape and basically be thrown right into the fire without seeing any game action.
3-2. Outside, ball 4. And Stevens wanted it. He flustered and moved his back, jerked it hard, and was a bit upset with the call. Wanted that strike 3. First base runner Blake Stevens has to deal with as Fonseca trouts down to first base. Brings up Jordan Tarsevich from the Virginia Military School, a Division I program. First pitch runs outside, 1-0.
And he's probably one of the best that VMI has to offer. Hit .293 this season with a .392 OBP. Stole 20 bags, so he's a speedster.
Almost the same pitch, the 1-0. Also cuts outside, 2-0 advantage for Tarsevich.
I think there's a big pitch coming up for Stevens. This is the first time he's really faced any adversity today.
2-0. Runs low. It's a 3-0 count now. So after walking Rob Fonseca, Jordan Tarsevich has a 3-0 count on his hands. Stevens to the set. Lifts the leg, fires. Put me over fastball at 84. On the outside corner, 3-1. Doesn't walk many batters, only had 10 on the season. 3-1 pitch. Attack to the left side. It falls for a base hit. No advance from Fonseca from second to third. He'll hold up at second base. First hit allowed by Blake Stevens. It's Jordan Tarsevich. A 2-out single to center.
That was a pitch that didn't really have a whole lot of movement on it, Brendan. I was about to call you Brennan Lund, who is coming up next, but that pitch didn't really have a whole lot of spin on it. It just sort of stayed up there, and Tarsevich was able to really bring the hands in and wait on that ball. That's why he was able to put it exactly where he did. That was probably the hardest hit ball, fair or foul, that YD has had all day.
BYU's Brennan Lund has a chance with first and second. 2 down, no score between Cotuit and YD. First pitch is lifted to the left side, foul out of play, 0-1. Lund with BYU hit .303 with 19 RBIs. A .364 on base percentage, a speedster as well. Stole 11 of 15. 11 stolen bases in 15 attempts. Pitch dribbled down the right field line, picked up easily by Hendricks, tags the bag to end the inning. Back-to-back base runners reach for YD. Blake Stevens escapes trouble in the second inning. An inning and a half done at Lowell Park. No score between Cotuit and Yarmouth Dennis. You're listening to Cotuit Kettleers Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
Rockland Trust, a community bank serving families and businesses throughout Massachusetts, is proud to partner with the Cape Cod Baseball League. At Rockland Trust, each relationship matters, and we're committed to supporting our communities, customers, and colleagues. To find out more, visit rocklandtrust.com.
Curry College offers 20 traditional undergraduate degree programs, over 65 minors and concentrations, and a wide array of extracurricular activities ranging from 14 NCAA Division III athletic teams to an outstanding theater program. Explore Curry College online at curry.edu. Welcome back to Lowell Park, an inning and a half done with Greg Moraz. I'm Brendan Glasheen. Michael Murray of Florida Gulf Coast returns for his second inning of work. A double play helped him escape his first inning, a base hit for D.C. Arendis for Cotuit. Kettleers will send 4, 5, and 6 to the plate. Fisher, Hendricks, and Taylor. Jamison Fisher, Greg, has been all over the order so far. He's been a leadoff man. He's batted second. He's batted cleanup. He's batted third. Tonight finds himself in the 4-hole. Plenty of versatility for Jamison. The lefty doing the catching for the first time this year. Steps in the box, holds the bat with his right hand in the handle, and lets it fly for a bit. Murray is ready. First pitch. Fastball misses outside. 1-0 to Jamison Fisher.
Murray's arm slot is not directly over the top. It's almost even a little bit less than 3/4.
Pitch hit to the left side. Walton throws across. Nice stretch by Fonseca. Retires Fisher. 1 down.
What a great play in the hole by Donnie Walton. He had to go to basically the edge of the outfield grass, but was able to set himself and make a dart across the diamond. And Rob Fonseca, give him credit as well, made a nice pick in the dirt.
Retires Fisher. He's been gone a lot on that first or second pitch of the at-bat. Aggressive style we've seen out of the gate from the Kettleers. Brendan Hendricks hacks at the first pitch, lifts it foul out of play, just to the left of our broadcast booth here at Lowell Park. We mentioned Murray, his numbers at Florida Gulf Coast, 15 starts, 13 of them wins. 0-1, breaking ball, doesn't cut the way he likes it, 1-1. 76 on the gun for Murray. Catches it back from Goldstein. Positions his right foot on the rubber, left foot in front, into the windup, the pitch. 1-1, grounded towards second base. Tarcevic holds and throws in time to throw out Hendricks, 2 down.
One thing that Murray is really doing well is he's mixing around his pitches in different parts of the zone. He's keeping the Kettleers hitters off balance by making them guess exactly where he's going to throw the ball. And like Blake Stevens, except with a little bit more velocity, Murray is really doing a good job of putting a lot of cut spin on his fastball.
Third consecutive left-handed batter for Cotuit, Jeremy Taylor, squares around. The bunt is lifted, foul onto the head of the new dugout construction along the left field line here at Lowell Park. That was one of the things D.C. Arendis touched on in Hot Off the Kettle in the pregame show, getting the bunts down later in games. Of course, it's early now. 0-1 is hit up the middle. Walton ranging to his left, throws across in time. 3 ground outs for Michael Murray. Leads to a 1-2-3 inning for the YD Red Sox. 2 in the books here at Lowell Park. No score between Cotuit and Yarmouth Dennis. You're listening to Cotuit Kettleers Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Rockland Trust, a community bank serving families and businesses throughout Massachusetts, is proud to partner with the Cape Cod Baseball League. At Rockland Trust, each relationship matters, and we're committed to supporting our communities, customers, and colleagues. To find out more, visit rocklandtrust.com.
Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League and for refreshing yourself with ice-cold Coca-Cola products. Coca-Cola Bottling Co. of Cape Cod employs more than 50 full-time employees and more than 25 seasonal employees. Every year, more than 15 college students get great experience and support their education by working at Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod. Reward yourself. Have a Coke. The Colossal Lobster Roll is back at the 99 restaurants. Visit today in Centerville, Falmouth, Mashpee, Wareham, or Yarmouth and try one today. The 99, proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
Top of the third inning here from Lowell Park. Each team no runs and a hit and no errors. Blake Stevens out for his third inning of work. He's been very good thus far. 4 strikeouts, only 1 hit allowed, and he has faced 2 over the minimum. 9, 1, and 2 due up here for the Yarmouth Dennis Red Sox. A.J. Simcox, the third baseman from Tennessee, will step to the plate. Simcox on the season in Knoxville hit .270, a .342 OBP. No home runs, he drove in 13. Stevens, the wind, kick, and deliver. Simcox shows bunt, and a breaking ball catches the outside corner for strike 1.
Simcox drafted in the 32nd round of the 2012 draft by the Colorado Rockies.
0-1, sliced through the hole between first and second. A leadoff single for A.J. Simcox. That's his second hit of the season. He is now 2 for 7 on the year for the YD Red Sox, and that will turn the order over for Andrew Stevenson.
And Greg, it shouldn't be a mystery that A.J. Simcox is batting at the bottom of the order. He really is a productive batter, and sometimes head coaches such as Scott Pickler love to have a productive 9-hitter that he can get consistency from. He's almost like a second leadoff man in the sense. When you have to lead off an inning like this with a 9-hitter, works out well.
That'll bring up Stevenson. Simcox is going. Swing and a miss. Fisher throws down to second. Throw is way high and it goes into center field. Simcox decides to hold up at second, but now the ball gets away from Jake Fincher. The throw will sail over the head of Logan Taylor, but hit the boundary fence. So Taylor can't get the throw from Fincher, and Simcox will advance to third on the error by Jake Fincher.
And luckily, Blake Stevens was doing his due diligence as a pitcher, backing up between third and home, and gets over towards that third base bag just behind Taylor and gets the ball back in, able to retrieve it, get back to the mound.
0-1 to Stevenson, swing and a miss. Pulled the string on him there, 76-mile-an-hour curveball. Stevenson down to the count 0-2. But that's a big error there because now Simcox is 90 feet away with nobody out here in the top of the third. Stevens in the stretch. Infield is all the way in. 0-2, swing and a miss. Got him on a tailing fastball. Make that 5 strikeouts through 2 1/3 innings for Blake Stevens.
He's on a roll, Greg, throwing off speed, throwing fastballs, mixing up his pitches, working in and out of the zone, upstairs, downstairs. He's done everything thus far to throw off these YD Red Sox. Not just that, but it's the late movement. Every pitch has looked like it's in the zone, but drops out of it.
First pitch to Donnie Walton, swing and a miss. Another dipping breaking ball from Blake Stevens, and you look up and down this YD lineup, that's the one pitch that they have not been able to hit at all. So Donnie Walton swings way over the first pitch from Blake Stevens. The count's 0-1. Outfield is pretty much playing normal depth. All infielders on the grass. Coming home on a suicide squeeze attempt is A.J. Simcox. But fortunately for the Kettleers, Donnie Walton's bunt goes foul straight back to the screen, and he's down the count 0-2.
Clearly, Cotuit is not the only Cape Cod League team struggling to get bunts down. YD, a scenario where Walton asked to lay down a bunt to possibly bring in Simcox and doesn't get the job done. And back to Stevens. I mean, 79 strikeouts this past year with Birmingham in 88-plus innings. The strikeout stuff has always been there, but the pace he's at right now in his first start, very awesome to see.
Stevens in the stretch. 0-2 on the way to Walton. Fastball misses outside, count to 1-2. Here's one stat from his year at Birmingham Southern that we did not bring up. A 6.58 strikeout to walk ratio. That shows you, number one, how good of a strikeout pitcher he is, but number two, how great his control is because he barely walks anybody. 1-2 on the way from Stevens. Hit high to right field. Carthon going back on it. Still going back about 5 steps in front of the wall. He'll settle under it, make the catch. Tagging from third and scoring easily is A.J. Simcox. And that's the first run of the ball game on a sac fly by Donnie Walton. YD leads this one 1-0 here in the top of the third.
Man, Walton got a hold of it big time. I think too much height on that piece of hitting. Carthon, plenty of time to camp under it. He's speedy, of course, plays safety at Tulane as well as some outfield. Able to range over and make the catch, and easily enough distance to score Simcox.
First pitch, swing and a miss. Michael Foster swung right through that fastball. Foster down in the count 0-1. He struck out looking to end the top of the first. Slightly open stance at the plate. Stevens winds, kicks, delivers. 0-1 breaking ball, pulled the string on him again. That curve at 78. Count to 0-2. He's got the most impressive curveball of any pitcher I've seen so far for the Kettleers. 0-2, fastball misses outside. Ramped it up to 88 there.
And again, it's dropping through the strike zone. As a hitter, the perception is it's going to be a strike, but it ends as a ball. It's tough to lay off.
1-2, that one laced out into left field. Jeremy Taylor is going to cut that one off. Going to second is Foster. Taylor relays the throw in. It's offline, a 2-out double for Michael Foster. That was a no-doubter, got an inside pitch, pulled the hands in on it, and sent it out to where Taylor cut it off before it got past him, but Foster was thinking two the entire way.
I'll tell you, the 3 hits rather, for YD, as well as the fly ball out by Walton to score A.J. Simcox, a 1-0 lead for YD. They've picked their spots to swing the bat, and the times they've been able to get a hold of it. Many of times they've looked embarrassing swinging through, but they've been able to find some sort of way to hit Stevens.
Here's Ryan Hissey. First pitch, curveball taken for a strike on the low outside corner, 0-1. Hissey struck out swinging to start the top of the second. Stevens looks for the sign. He's got it. Looks back. Had Michael Foster at second. 0-1 on the way. Breaking ball well outside. That one at 71. Count even at 1. Outfield, normal depth. Infield, shortstop. Holder creeping a little bit towards the second base bag. Swing and a miss on another curveball. Count to 1-2 on Ryan Hissey.
And Stevens was able to strike out Hissey on that exact breaking ball, a pitch that dropped by his chest to his ankles.
1-2, tailing fastball to the inside, almost hits Hissey. We've got ourselves 2s across the board. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Red Sox lead 1-0 on a sacrifice fly by Donnie Walton. Stevens not out of the woods yet. 2-2 offering. Chop to second. Arendis will gobble it up. Flip to first, and that will retire the side. But the Red Sox strike first on a sacrifice fly by Donnie Walton. We're through 2.5. YD leads this one 1-0 on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network and Comcast Channel 99 Barnstable Mashpee.
A proud sponsor of the Cape League for 14 seasons, Baseball Factory holds over 600 events nationwide for players ages 8 to 18, including 3 training weeks here on the Cape. Did you know that 99% of Division I college programs have a Baseball Factory alum on their roster? Please visit baseballfactory.com to learn how you can build your way to greatness. Happy 100th birthday to the Chatham Bars Inn, one of the world's most honored resorts. The Chatham Bars Inn offers the Cape's finest dining and oceanfront views. For a time you'll always remember, visit the Chatham Bars Inn.
Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League and for refreshing yourself with ice-cold Coca-Cola products. Coca-Cola Bottling Company of Cape Cod employs more than 50 full-time employees and more than 25 seasonal. Every year, more than 15 college students get great experience and support their education by working at Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod. Reward yourself. Have a Coke. Curry College offers 20 traditional undergraduate degree programs, over 65 minors and concentrations, and a wide array of extracurricular activities ranging from 14 NCAA Division III athletic teams to an outstanding theater program. Explore Curry College online at curry.edu.
7, 8, and 9 due up for the Kettleers against Michael Murray, Kyle Holder, Stephen Carkenny, and Richard Carthon. First pitch on the way to the shortstop from San Diego. Holder chopped to second, picking up is Tarcevic. He has to hurry, flips to the pitcher. Murray covering at first. What a nice play. That ball sort of in no man's land. The first baseman Fonseca went over to get it too. Nobody was covering the bag, and Murray, good intuition to go over and rush to cover it. One pitch, one out here in the bottom of the third.
And many a times that play we hear from pitching coaches in Major League Baseball, managers, it's a play that's always practiced at spring training. And most of the time it's the first baseman flipping to the pitcher. This time Tarcevic finds Murray at first.
Carkenny shows bunt but pulls back. Fastball misses low and away for ball one. Carkenny, the designated hitter from the Masters College in Southern California, hit .373 on the season for the Masters. 1-0 pitch taken for a strike at the knees, count even at 1. Richard Carthon stands on deck, the two-way player from Tulane, two-way in terms of sport, not position. 1-1, fastball misses well inside. Carkenny has to back out of the way of it. Count to 2-1.
And we've yet to see Carkenny pitch in a game for the Kettleers. We'll have to see what Coach Roberts prefers to use him throughout the course of his time. Temporary guy.
2-1 on the way from Murray. That one chopped. It's fair, but home plate umpire Tony Lazito calls it foul, and the count even at 2.
Went off the shin of Carkenny. And one of those scenarios where Carkenny probably should be running down the first baseline just in case Letizio, very delayed call. Never know in those scenarios. An umpire could miss it. No luxury of instant replay in the Cape Cod Baseball League.
2-2 on the way from Murray. Swing and a miss. Got him with a slider. Down in the dirt, Carkenny gone swinging. 8 up and 8 down. Murray has faced the minimum despite allowing a single to DC Arendis. Logan Taylor grounded out into a 6-4-3 double play to end the first, and here's Richard Carthon.
Just the first strikeout tonight, and for Murray, 79 strikeouts in 107 innings.
Carthon shows bunt, lays it down the third base line, but it goes foul. Simcox will pick it up and throw it back to Murray.
So you have to give this Cotuit lineup some credit, and this is a guy that led the Atlantic Sun in strikeouts and ERA. Just the first guy to strike out tonight, so at least the Kettleers are putting the ball in play, forcing the YD defense to make plays.
0-1 on the way to Carthon. Fastball taken for a strike on the high outside corner. And Carthon quickly down in the count 0-2. Carthon started opening night in Hyannis. Went 0 for 2. Hit .258 on the season at Tulane. Originally from Shreveport, Louisiana.
Also pinch ran in last night's game.
0-2. Fastball misses just a bit outside. Count to 1-2 on Carthon. Carthon, a temporary player, as we've made allude to. If he stays here for a while, he has to leave August 3rd as required by Tulane football. Defensive swing, hit right to Simcox. He stumbles, fires across, but in time to get Carthon by a half step. We are through 3 at Lowell Park. YD leads this one 1-0 here on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network, Barnstable Mash P99, and Sandwich Channel 13.
A proud sponsor of the Cape League for 14 seasons, Baseball Factory holds over 600 events nationwide for players ages 8 to 18, including 3 training weeks here on the Cape. Did you know that 99% of Division I college programs have a Baseball Factory alum on their roster? Please visit baseballfactory.com to learn how you can build your way to greatness.
The Chatham Bars Inn celebrates its 100th anniversary this year and is New England's premier oceanfront resort, a proud member of the leading hotels of the world. For a time you'll always remember, visit the Chatham Bars Inn. The 99 Restaurants has 9 real-size entrees for only $9.99. There are big, hearty portions you can count on all day, every day, like the balsamic grilled chicken or the tender and juicy top sirloin steak. The 99 Restaurants, proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
Rockland Trust, a community bank serving families and businesses throughout Massachusetts, is proud to partner with the Cape Cod Baseball League. At Rockland Trust, each relationship matters and we're committed to supporting our community's customers and colleagues. To find out more, visit rocklandtrust.com.
Top 4 here at Lowell Park. Greg Mraz and Brendan Glasheen on hand with you. Yarmouth Dennis leads this one 1-0. And before the inning even starts, Mike Roberts is having a conversation with first base umpire Mickey Garcia. And now assistant coach Brian Bambanek is running out to first base. Apparently the first base bag, the support that keeps it in the ground, was off kilter, and Bambanek is now digging a hole to try and get the base in deeper. That's something I've never seen before.
Don't be confused, they're not broadcasting construction of Lowell Park, although there's been a lot of it in the last couple of years. Of course, we've been boasting about the new renovations here, the new left field line stands, new concession stands that were put in a couple of years back, and now we got some first base construction.
So the first base bag now is back in place, and it looks like we'll be ready to play some baseball here once again. This is just odd. That's the only thing I can say about this. This is odd that either Scott Pickler or Mike Roberts or first base umpire Mickey Garcia had to see something in the first base bag that didn't look correct. Now, from our vantage point here in the broadcast booth behind home plate, we really can't tell to a science how off-kilter or how deep the first base bag is supposed to be.
Clearly there was some discussion as to whether or not the base was stable or not. Must have been a comment from one of the players who had touched first. Something.
And now for something completely different. Sam Toes is warming up in the bullpen down the left field line for the Cotuit Kettleers, the right-hander from Wichita State. So you wonder how much longer Blake Stevens is going to stay in this ball game. We will let you know, friends, that the run charged to him in the third inning was earned because of the fact that based on the way the situation played out, the run scored anyway, whether there had been an error or not. So Stevens has one earned run through 3 innings on 3 hits. First pitch to Jason Goldstein, roped right to the shortstop Holder. He picks it up on the run, fires across. Got him. Great play by Kyle Holder. Cut a sharp line to that ball as it was going towards the second base bag, picked it up, transferred on the run, and fired it right to first. And that's the first out of the inning. Goldstein gone on 1 pitch.
Solid play by Holder. Instead of charging all the way, he holds back on this baseball. Not oftentimes you're taught as a shortstop or a middle infielder to hold back, and this time he holds back on the perfect bounce and records the out.
Fonseca, first pitch swinging, skies it down the right field line, out of play. Count to 0-1 on the northeastern first baseman. Fonseca does not have an official at-bat. He walked back in the second. Slightly open stance. Stevens winds, kicks, delivers. Breaking fastball. Catches the high outside corner. Count to 0-2 on Fonseca. Stevens working quickly. The wind, kick, and deliver on the 0-2. Tries the tailing fastball again, but well out of the zone. Fonseca didn't bite. Count to 1-2.
What a relief it must be for Fonseca, missing all of last year due to injury, now back on the Cape.
Ring him up, strike 3 called. Stevens gets him with a breaking ball. Make that 6 strikeouts on the afternoon for Blake Stevens. 2 gone here in the 4th.
Many of his strikeouts have come via the breaking ball. This is just his 2nd strikeout on the looking side.
That'll bring up Jordan Tarsevich, the rising sophomore from the Virginia Military Institute. First pitch bunted into the Kettleers dugout. Jamison Fisher made a good run for it, but the count 0-1. Through 3 2/3 innings, friends, Stevens has 60 pitches exactly, which is not a bad number. Had to throw a bit more than he wanted to in the last inning, the top of the 3rd.
And his strike to ball ratio not bad. 2/3 have been strikes.
0-1 breaking ball misses high. Count even at 1. Tarsevich, 2nd on the team at Virginia Military in steals with 20, 2nd with hits with 54, 2nd in batting average at 293. 1-1 fouled out of play. Stevens ahead in the count at 1-2. One of 2 guys for Virginia Military Institute to start every game this season, and he's consistent. In his freshman season, he hit 299, starting in all 55 games. 1-2, ring him up, strike 3 called. Back-to-back strikeout lookings. And Blake Stevens, through 4 innings, has 7 strikeouts. We'll go to the bottom half of the 4th. Kettleers trail 1-0 here on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network and Comcast Channel 99 Barnstable Mashpee and 13 Sandwich.
The Colossal Lobster Roll is back at the 99 restaurants. Visit today in Centerville, Falmouth, Mashpee, Wareham, or Yarmouth and try one today. The 99, proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League. For a quarter century on Cape Cod, Eye Health Services has been providing the best in eye care to our community. Is seeing the game not as clear this year? Having trouble seeing the stat sheet? Let us help you see all of the game up close and in the outfield. Make an appointment at one of our 10 convenient locations on Cape Cod or the South Shore. Eye Health Services. We are here for you.
For a quarter century on Cape Cod, Eye Health Services has been providing the best in eye care to our community. Is seeing the game not as clear this year? Having trouble seeing the stat sheet? Let us help you see all of the game up close and in the outfield. Make an appointment at one of our 10 convenient locations on Cape Cod or the South Shore. Eye Health Services. We are here for you.
Top of the order due up for the Kettleers here against Michael Murray of Yarmouth Dennis, Jake Fincher, DC Arendis, and Logan Taylor. Murray's been pretty darn good thus far, only 1 strikeout, but he's allowed only 1 hit. That was a 1-out single to DC Arendis in the bottom of the 1st inning. That'll bring up Superman, Jake Fincher, known as Superman around here from his Superman slides into second base when he was stealing bags last season. Wore number 15 in 2013. He's now sporting number 16. The wind and fire, first pitch breaking ball taken for a strike on the inside corner. 0-1 to Jake Fincher. Fincher popped out to Murray in foul ground to start off the game for the Kettleers. 0-1, fastball misses low. Count even at 1. Walton deep in the hole at short, as is Tarsevich at second. In on the grass a little bit is Simcox, but back at first, a little bit in front of the outfield grass is Rob Fonseca. 1-1 offering. Breaking ball, taken for another strike. And now Michael Murray is starting to throw a lot more breaking balls here in the last inning or so than he had in the first 2.
As said before, a lot of contact from the Kettleers, just 1 strikeout for the first time through the batting order for Murray.
1-2 on the way, fastball high and inside. Count even at 2 to the junior outfielder from North Carolina State. On deck is Jamison Fisher, the catcher. Correction, DC Arendis, the second baseman from South Carolina. 2-2 offering, breaking ball in the dirt. Goldstein has it, then loses it for a moment. The count goes to full.
And for Cotuit, Arendis on deck, the only hit of the game for the Kettleers. And so far, Jake Fincher is a returner that we've heard many from Coach Roberts. He's off to a 3-for-5 start in the year.
Payoff on the way from Murray. Chopped up the middle. Coming across is Walton on the move. Dives and can't make the play. Fonseca scooped it. Fincher beats it out, and the Kettleers have their second hit of the ball game. But more importantly, they have the leadoff man aboard.
And this puts Arendis in a good spot. Maybe a hit-and-run possibility. We've seen a few times already this season when the Kettleers have a left-handed batter at the plate. They try a hit-and-run, move Fincher. That moves the shortstop, Walton. If Arendis can go the other way, could be a first-to-third scenario for the Kettleers.
Three-step lead at first. Fonseca holding him on. It is a hit-and-run. Poke down the left field line, just foul. Fincher was off on the pitch. Probably would have had second base stolen had it not been a hit-and-run called.
Had it fell fair, probably first to third, though.
As you hear over the loudspeaker, the voice of the great Ivan Partridge, a staple here at Lowell Park for many a year, sat right next to the Kettleers dugout and shouted that have a hit call. Pick off to first, nothing was on. Fincher back in safely. Arendis 6 for 8 on the season to start off, has hit safely in every game. As Murray picks off at first once again. Do you think, Brendan, that they try the hit and run one more time?
I think if Coach Roberts had unlimited tries, he'd use all of them.
0-1, skied down the left field line, but it's going to go foul. Giving a chase for it is Simcox, but it hits the tree that overhangs the fans that are just behind the home plate area of the Kettleers bullpen.
And that time, Fincher not off on the pitch. I think Coach Roberts also keeps in the back of his head when an Arendis guy is at the plate watching his dad play. He's a kid that's going to put the ball in play. Not too much concern when it comes to moving guys over.
Murray in the stretch. Back to first on the pickoff. In 177 at-bats this year, friends, that's South Carolina, Arendis only struck out 27 times. It's a pretty good number considering the type of pitching that he has to face in the SEC. 0-2 offering. Fastball outside. Count to 1-2.
And with not striking out much means a lot of putting the baseball in play. And a pitch right there from Murray caught the outside corner. Goldstein didn't, I think, give as much as he could to frame that pitch. Looked awfully close, but Arendis has a great eye.
Big gap out in right center field. 2-2. Now it's 2-2. As the slider misses high. So DC Arendis trying to get his 7th hit on this young season, but more importantly, trying to put Jake Fincher in a position to score. Murray in the stretch gets the sign at the belt. 2-2. Poked foul. Out of play down the left field line. Good battle here between Murray and Arendis. On deck is Logan Taylor, the third baseman from Texas A&M. Infield is double play depth. Fonseca holding on Fincher at first. Murray sets at the letters. Fincher's going. The pitch, hit and run, fouled off of Arendis' right foot. Looks as if it got the shin guard, though. Arendis appears to be okay.
And that's why you wear the shin guard in circumstances like that. This pitch hit, I don't know if it hit the ground first, then it would deflect it off of his shin, or he hit the shin initially. But Arendis went down to one knee, took a bit of a walk just in front of home plate. Seems to be just okay. Home plate umpire Tony Letizio cleans home plate just to give Arendis a breather.
2-2 count, bottom 4. Yarmouth Dennis leads 1-0. I'm Greg Mraz. He's Brendan Glasheen. Another pickoff. Fincher back without really much of a contest on the throw. Friends, make sure you join us tomorrow out in Chatham for a doubleheader. Starting at 4 o'clock, Kettleers warm-up hits the air at 3:30. 2-2 breaking ball misses low. Count goes to full 3-2. Part of the early season doubleheaders, 2 7-inning games against the Chatham Anglers. Second game scheduled to start at 7 o'clock, but what they'll try to do is go a half hour after the first game goes final. Payoff on the way. Arendis skies it out of play. And we will do the 3-2 again.
This is the 8th pitch of the at-bat, so quite the battle between Arendis and Murray. Murray, a strikeout guy, struck out 79 guys in 100-plus innings at Florida Gulf Coast. And DC Arendis, he's not a strikeout guy. So quite the matchup here in the 4th.
Payoff on the way, and it misses high. 4-4. So the first 2 runners of the 4th inning stand at first and second in the form of Arendis and Fincher. Logan Taylor has a chance now to even this game up at 1 or possibly give the Kettleers the lead. Logan Taylor steps to the plate, grounded into an inning-ending 6-4-3 double play back in the bottom of the first. Simcox in at third, touching the grass. The same at first can be said for Rob Fonseca. Double steal, swing and a miss. Goldstein throws down to third, and he got Fincher by a mile. Moving to second on the throwout is DC Arendis. The old unwritten rule of baseball, you never want to make the first out at third base. That's exactly what Jake Fincher just did. So the Kettleers lose a base runner. The Red Sox get an out. Arendis does move into scoring position. So a man at second with 1 out and 0-1 count on Logan Taylor. Murray sets. 0-1. Breaking ball. Misses low. Count even at 1.
And perhaps circumstances like that, a play where you try the double steal, goes second to third. So Mike Roberts probably goes back to blame himself oftentimes in our pre- and post-game shows when he says, I got to do a better job. Maybe that's a scenario where he gives a sign, it doesn't work the way he plans, and now there's 1 out with just 1 guy in scoring position for Cotuit.
Taylor swung the bat there, which makes me think that it was a hit and run that got called. But the pitch was so far out of the zone, there's no way that Taylor was going to be able to hit it. It was a breaking ball that missed well low and well to the inside.
And to Roberts' defense, only 1 walk from Murray. He's been around the plate.
1-1, popped out of play behind the screen. Logan Taylor down to the count, 0-2.
However, to counter that, you have to recall that a 9-pitch at-bat to DC Arendis slows down his stamina in this inning. So the likelihood of getting a pitch down Broadway for Taylor to at least drive the other way and maybe go first to third or second to home, it didn't work the way Roberts planned. So now there's 1 down with just a guy at second base and Taylor at the plate.
1-2 offering. Broken bat. The ball is popped into the YD dugout down the first base line. Meanwhile, the barrel of the bat flies into the Kettleers dugout down the third base side, and all that remains of the bat at home plate is the handle. But going back to that failed hit and run, I don't think you want to try hit and runs when you have 2 guys on, especially
with nobody out.
I think that when you have a guy on first base, it's worth a try. But if you have a guy on second base, you have to remember that a lot of times pitchers can sense when a hit and run is coming, and they'll throw a pitch that's not hittable. It's very difficult because it's a way shorter throw from the catcher to steal third base.
Goes back to our pregame report as well. When you have a guy in Scott Pickler entering year 14, Coach Mike Roberts entering year 11, these two have seen each other. Pickler has a good idea of what Mike Roberts is trying to do, so he's accustomed to seeing Roberts try a hit and run with first and second, nobody out. So a scenario that probably Pickler's aware of, and the YD Red Sox capitalized.
Murray sets at the belt. 1-2 offering. Taylor fouls it out of play again. Count remains 1-2.
In Greg, and the handful of games that we've been here at Lowell Park, including McKeon Park for opening day, this to me has been the most productive inning in terms of at-bats for Cotuit, taking pitches, fouling off pitches, instead of hacking on the first pitch or second pitch and making quick outs, getting opposing teams back in the dugout.
1-2, and it hit him. Square in the numbers between the 1 and the 7 on the back of Logan Taylor's back. So a single, a walk, a caught stealing, and a hit by pitch. Kettleers have runners at first and second with 1 out for Jamison Fisher.
And now you're back to the same scenario 1 out ago. Nobody out, first and second, and Jamison Fisher, remember he ended last night's game, or Thursday night's game rather, with first and third. The tying run just 90 feet away, struck out looking. It's in a scenario here where the Kettleers could use a run.
First pitch to Fisher, throw down to second base, goes right to the shortstop, Donnie Walton. They were trying to get Arendis leaning. And I think it's a very good point that you bring up about the familiarity that Scott Pickler and Mike Roberts have with each other. Both teams are aggressive hitters. Both teams are very aggressive on the base paths. So it's essentially like they're coaching against themselves, in a sense. One-0 count to Jamison Fisher, the catcher from Southeast Louisiana. Murray looks back at second. Time is called, and Fisher will step out of the batter's box. Fisher, in his first 2 seasons at Southeast Louisiana, hit .389 this past season, and in his freshman campaign hit at .315.
Another player that knows when to put the baseball in play and doesn't strike out very often.
Murray looks back at second. 1-0 offering, tailing fastball at the knees, catches the inside corner. Count even at 1 on Fisher.
And that was some nasty break there from Murray. Literally went from the left side of the plate to the right side of the plate in our vantage point for the Kettleers, and a left-handed hitter in Fisher right to left.
Arendis at second. Taylor at first. 1-1. Same pitch, same spot. Another strike. Fisher down to the count 1-2.
Initially for Fisher, and most left-handed hitters, when they see a breaking slider like that, a powerful slider, it comes off like a fastball that's going to go outside, and it's cutting across as a ball but finishing as a strike on the inside corner. It's a tough spot.
Murray sets, looks back at Arendis. Time is called, and they call a balk on Michael Murray. He started his motion, but didn't finish it. So a balk will move Arendis to third and Logan Taylor to second. A huge break for the Kettleers as both runners are in scoring position, and Scott Pickler has now been warned by Tony Letizio. Now the umpires are going to conference to make sure this is the correct ruling. I sure think it's the correct ruling because I initially thought that time was called, but that wasn't the case.
Well, Tony Letizio, the home plate umpire, got out of his crouch, and Murray went all the way through his wind-up motion without throwing the ball. So it seemed like home plate umpire Tony Letizio thought something was called from one of the umpires. Now the runners are going to be sent back, it looks like.
Arendis is walking back to second base. Logan Taylor is still standing at second base. Now the third base umpire, Rick Emerson, is having a chat with Mike Roberts. To Scott Pickler's defense, I think that Murray thought time was called when it really wasn't, based upon Tony Letizio's motions behind the plate, which is what caused the balk motion.
It's a fair point. I mean, now Coach Roberts, you know he has to have something to say if this call is reversed. And I believe so. So Arendis stays at second. Logan Taylor heads back to first base. Huge turning point if those guys stay where they are. A base hit scores 2 on all likelihood with the speed on the base paths. But here we can already see, Greg, that there's passion between these two head coaches. You know, Pickler already warned into the 4th inning. And Mike Roberts, the impatient whatever, Mike Roberts, it's no surprise.
But we want these conversations to be friendly, which is why our umpires are once again brought to you by Friendly's Ice Cream. It's all about family. It's all about fun. Friendly's is proud to sponsor the 2014 baseball season. Friendly's Ice Cream, all about family, all about fun. And let's have some friendly conversation with our head coaches and our umpires here today.
I'd have to agree.
I could go for some ice cream right now. I actually haven't had any in quite a while, but the weather really hasn't allowed for ice cream. Second straight game that we've had considerable overcast. Doesn't really feel like summer here on Cape Cod just yet.
And the conversation between Letizio and Mike Roberts begins to heat up even more. Now he has his hands folded behind his back. Almost a sarcastic look on his face from here. Third base umpire Rick Emerson also involved with the conversation. And the fans starting a clap for Cotuit.
I love the fact how Mickey Garcia, the first base umpire, is just standing pat. And now Michael Murray is starting to throw some practice pitches because he hasn't thrown a pitch in about 5 minutes. Which, when considering you're on the mound, that's a pretty long time. Roberts had one of these arguments about whether a base runner scored or not last season in a home game here versus Bourne. And I'll tell you, Brendan, you weren't here, obviously, but that argument lasted a whole 10 minutes, included back and forth coming out of the dugouts from Coach Roberts and Bourne head coach Harvey Shapiro.
Clear, game 3 into the season, head coach Mike Roberts is not a shy guy.
That's for darn sure. And we are being told by home plate umpire Tony Letizio that Mike Roberts has filed a protest on the balk call being reversed. Coach Roberts famously last season in the Cape League Championship game protested Orleans starting pitcher. This is a very interesting story. I'm not sure if you know this story, Brendan, but and now Mike Roberts is getting clarification with home plate umpire Tony Letizio. Now Coach Roberts is saying to Tony Letizio, that's not what I said, which I'm guessing he meant I didn't want to protest the call. But in the story from last season, because of the rainout on the first game of the championship series, Orleans manager Kelly Nicholson didn't change his lineup card. He originally had Trent Skutnik of Michigan going. He switched it to Bobby Pointer, but the lineup card still said Skutnik. And Roberts in the 7th inning declared that the game be put under protest. He eventually withdrew it after the Kettleers won the ball game. We're now finally back to action. 1-2 on the way. Ground ball to second. Flips to second for 1. On to first. It gets through Fonseca. Coming home to score is D.C. Arendis. Moving to second is Jamison Fisher on the errant throw by Donnie Walton. And this game is tied at 1.
After all that, finally the Kettleers have a chance, and I'm very shocked that Jamison Fisher, who we've seen early on swing early in the count, in that sense, even though it's 1-2, he hasn't seen many pitches since, of course, the 5-minute delay for both Murray and Fisher at the plate. And Fisher hacks on the first one and puts the ball in play, and turns out when you do that, good things happen. The Kettleers tie it up.
We will check to see whether that is an earned run or not. 1 out for Brendan Hendricks, the first baseman for the University of San Francisco. And you have to think that Murray's pretty rattled after that long of a delay.
Perhaps that was in the back of the mind of Mike Roberts. Never mind arguing a call, but disturb a very good starting pitcher from Florida Gulf Coast.
And a starting pitcher that really hasn't surrendered any sort of damage until this inning. First pitch to Hendricks. Fouled out of play to the left side. 0-1 the count on the USF first baseman.
Yeah, he's gone in order throughout the first 3 innings. Of course, he did not have a perfect first inning, allowed a base hit to DC Arendis. But this is the first inning we've seen tonight. He's faced more than 3 batters.
0-1 on the way. Upcoming here to Brendan Hendricks. Murray sets, looks back at Jamison Fisher at second. Long stare, time is called. We'll recap the inning for you. Jake Fincher led off with a single. DC Arendis walked. Then Logan Taylor, while he was at the plate, a missed hit and run, got Fincher thrown out at third. Taylor moved to second. Or rather, Arendis moved to second. 0-1, that one hit off the shin of Michael Murray. It deflects to the third baseman, Simcox. Now it deflects back to Donnie Walton. The throw home is not in time. Scoring on the play is Jamison Fisher. A ricochet single by Brendan Hendricks. And the Kettleers take a 2-1 lead.
Walton had Fisher dead red at home plate in a perfect slide by Jamison Fisher. He reaches around the tag of Jason Goldstein, tags the bag on the far right side just by the corner with his left hand. It was a dart thrown by Walton. And Goldstein had it right in front. Had he caught it, I still think Fisher is safe. He's able to reach around. And Hendricks certainly appreciates it. It's an RBI.
First pitch to Jeremy Taylor, skied to center field. On his horse is Stevenson. He'll settle under it, make the catch, and that's the third out of the inning. Well, folks, that was a wild inning, to say the least. But what it does is it gives the Kettleers the lead. We're through 4 here on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Cotuit leads this one 2-1.
Earn a bachelor's or master's degree, complete a certificate, or take a single course through the Division of Continuing Education and Graduate Studies at Curry College. Classes run days, evenings, and weekends in Milton and Plymouth. To learn more about programs in business, criminal justice, education, nursing, and more, visit curry.edu. Reebok is an official sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Stop in at Reebok's outlet store on Route 28 in West Yarmouth for great pricing on shoes, apparel, and accessories. The outlet features Reebok's latest and greatest technology such as ZigTech, RealFlex, and more. Reebok, live with fire.
A proud sponsor of the Cape League for 14 seasons, Baseball Factory holds over 600 events nationwide for players age 8 to 18, including 3 training weeks here in the Cape. Did you know that 99% of Division I college programs have a Baseball Factory alum on their roster? Please visit baseballfactory.com to learn how you can build your way to greatness. Reebok is an official sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Stop in at Reebok's outlet store on Route 28 in West Yarmouth for great pricing on shoes, apparel, and accessories. The outlet features Reebok's latest and greatest technologies, such as ZigTech, RealFlex, and more. Reebok, live with fire. Welcome back on to the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. An eventful last of the 4th inning at Lowell Park. 2 runs in for the Kettleers. It now has a 2-1 advantage over the YD Red Sox. I'm Brendan Glasheen taking a look at the scoreboard across the board. 1 error, 3 hits, 1 run for YD. 1 error, 3 hits, and 2 runs for the Cotuit Kettleers. Both runs scored in the inning are unearned to Michael Murray. And a new pitcher on the mound for the Cotuit Kettleers. It's Sam Toes, making his first appearance of the season from Wichita State. In 15 starts, he went 8-3 with a 3.27 ERA and 82-plus innings pitched. He allowed just 30 earned runs. He struck out 50 batters, and opponents hit .248 against Toes. Attended Waverly High School in Waverly, Nebraska. Faces 8-9-1 Lund, Simcox, and Stevenson for the Yarmouth Dennis Red Sox. Toes the righty, holds the Nike glove in front. Back to the belt, lifts the leg and fires. First pitch hacking down the left field line. Jeremy Taylor's on the run, foul ground, makes the catch. The East Tennessee State outfielder ranges on to make the grab. One down for Toes in the fifth. Back to that eventful fourth inning. 2 runs in to score for Cotuit. D.C. Arendis and Jamison Fisher scored both. A single by Brendan Hendricks caused a play at the plate between Goldstein and Fisher. Jamison Fisher, a terrific slide to score the run, and now Cotuit has the advantage. First pitch to H.A. Simcox, misses low and outside, 1-0. Toes works quickly, fires around the toes of Simcox, outside and low, 2-0. Be sure to join us tomorrow in Chatham, a doubleheader starting at 4 o'clock at Veterans Field, grounded towards third. Taylor snags it above his shoulder, throws across the diamond in time. 2 down for Toes in his relief stint in the top of the fifth. 2 up, 2 down. Just what you want to see after you get 2 runs in the last of the fourth inning. Almost the midway point. 6:22 Eastern here at Lowell Park. First pitch to leadoff man Stevenson. Dribble to the right side. It rolls foul. The cloud cover is starting to come over here at Lowell Park. Rain this morning on the Cape, but the weather has turned out nicely. Each team with 3 hits. A Cotuit advantage, though, in the run column, 2-1. 0-1 is hammered to the left side, foul by Stevenson. Toes ahead 0-2. He's the son of Doug and Denise Toes. Planning to major in international business at Wichita State. Was recruited by Nebraska as a junior in high school. Went 5-1 with an ERA of 1.19. Stevenson fouls it to the left, out of play once more. In his senior year, earned first-team All-State honors and second-team Super State honors. Gets his sign from Fisher, the 0-2. Hammer to the right side. Hendricks picks it up, takes it himself for the out. A 1-2-3 fifth inning for Sam Toes. Just what you want to see out of the pen. 4.5 complete at Lowell Park. Cotuit 2, YD nothing. You're listening to Cotuit Kettleers Baseball on Comcast Channel 99, Barnstable-Mashpee Channel 13 on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Friendly's Ice Cream, a timeless tradition since 1935, is proud to be the official ice cream of the Cape Cod Baseball League and bring together 2 of America's favorite pastimes, baseball and ice cream.
Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League and for refreshing yourself with ice-cold Coca-Cola products. Coca-Cola Bottling Co. of Cape Cod employs more than 50 full-time employees and more than 25 seasonal employees. Every year, more than 15 college students get great experience and support their education by working at Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod. Reward yourself. Have a Coke.
Rockland Trust, a community bank serving families and businesses throughout Massachusetts, is proud to partner with the Cape Cod Baseball League. At Rockland Trust, each relationship matters, and we're committed to supporting our communities, customers, and colleagues. To find out more, visit rocklandtrust.com. Four and a half innings in the books at Lowell Park. A 2-1 advantage for the Cotuit Kettleers. I'm Brendan Glasheen. The YD Red Sox and the Cotuit Kettleers, each 0-2 on the season, both in search of their first win of the 2014 summer. Kyle Holder, Steve Carkenny, and Richard Carthon, the expected batters against Michael Murray. First pitch, Holder gets the bunt down the left field line. Third baseman H.A. Simcox throws across in time. A nifty play from Simcox, listed as a shortstop at Tennessee, but plays some hot corner as well. Charges and throws across in time, out number 1 to Holder.
The designated hitter from the Masters in California.
Simcox, after the throw, had some disbelief on his eyes as if it wouldn't be in time, but gets the Torero holder from San Diego at first base. Brings up Steve Carkenny, the only strikeout victim to Michael Murray today. Takes a strike at the knees on the inside half of the plate, 0-1. Carkenny, a two-way, dual-threat player, can also pitch. Has yet to pitch for Cotuit this season. Lets it loft inside for a ball, 1-1. Murray has been terrific. Both runs he's allowed have been unearned. The pitch, Carkenny locked at the knees. A slider on the outside half to the right-handed hitter. 1-2. Again, each team with 3 hits. Cotuit the 1-run advantage as it leads 2-1 in its second home game after last night's rainout against Wareham. The 1-2. Carkenny doesn't offer it. The pitch missing outside. 2-2 the count. Fans have settled in. Still some blue in the sky. Cumulus clouds shining at Lowell Park. The 2-2. Carkenny, half-hearted swing, but doesn't go all the way through. Count runs full. Letizio checks down to first base umpire Mickey Garcia. Says he doesn't go around. 3-2 the count. Carkenny has a 1-ball advantage. The DH today for the Kettleers. 3-2 from Murray. Swung on and missed. He got him. 2 strikeouts today for Murray, both to Steve Carkenny. 2 down in the last of the 5th. Brings up the versatile Richie Carthon of Tulane. Carthon is 0 for 1. Ended the 3rd inning on a ground out to the 3rd baseman, A.J. Simcox. Simcox on the lip of the grass over at 3rd. First pitch swinging. Carthon skies it to the left side by the batting cages here at Lowell Park. An 0-1 advantage for Murray. Murray just above 60 pitches, approaching 70. His 0-1 tails outside. Pitch total at 66 now for the hurler of Florida Gulf Coast. A 13-win season in 15 starts. The 1-1 chopped up the middle. The second baseman Tarcevich charges, and Epps to hold it. Doesn't have a play at first as Carthon speeds his way down the first base line. Points to the sky to thank the Lord God, and he's on first with 2 down in the 5th. Not many times do you see players point to the sky on an infield single, but Carthon won't complain in the second start of the year. He pinch ran on Thursday night in Cotuit's 6-5 loss to the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. Murray works nicely in this inning, but it's a 2-1 Cotuit lead. Carthon a few inches off the bag. He attempts to steal, but then decides not to. Pitch to Jake Fincher is a ball inside, 1-0. Fincher 1 for 2. Singled to begin the 4th inning. Got it all started, but was thrown out on a double steal try or a failed hit and run by the Kettleers. 1-0 pitch, a pitch out. Out of the crouch goes Goldstein. Nothing doing with Carthon, 2-0. Jake batting a solid 605 at-bats, 3 base hits, had a pinch hit at bat at McKeon Park last Wednesday on opening day against the Harbor Hawks, had a base hit. 2-0, Carthon's now caught in between, but no throw from Goldstein. Carthon trails back to first base, a 3-0 advantage for Jake Fincher. Now the shadows start to show at Lowell Park. We can see the signs of the backstop shining just in front of us. The white jerseys glistening for the Kettleers. 3-0 pitch right down the Broadway for a strike. 3-1 to Jake Fincher. Michael Murray's white pants with the red stripe down the leg also shine brightly in the sun. Has his glove on his hip. Gets his strike from Goldstein. Now he steps off the base, or off the mound, rather. Goldstein and Murray to reset. A 3-1 count to Jake Fincher. 2-1 lead for Cotuit in the 5th inning, 2 down. Kettleers searching for win number 1 in 2014. Murray checks on Carthon, nothing doing at first base. If Fincher is able to reach, DC Arendis is on deck. Arendis is 1 for 1 today, a base hit in the 1st inning, a walk in the 4th. At the belt, fires. 3-1, taken on the inside half. Fincher buckles at the knees. It's a full count. Carthon should be off on the pitch. Jake Fincher, a 2013 Cape League All-Star, back for another season. Member of the Wolfpack at NC State has a 3-2 on its way. The pitch. Foul to the right side. It skies into the trees. We'll do the payoff pitch once more. Of course, never mind are these two teams in search of victory number 1, but it's a matchup between two of the Cape League's most tenured coaches. 14th year for Scott Pickler of YD, 11th year for Cotuit head coach Mike Roberts in year 11. Carthon at first, 2 down. The pitch. Up and inside, ball 4. Down to first goes Fincher. Carthon up to second base. First and second, 2 down for the Kettleers. Still a 2-1 lead brings up DC Arendis, who's batting 5 for 8 this season. The South Carolina star has got a perfect chance here. In 200-plus at-bats, he's only struck out 20 times this past year as a Gamecock. First and second, 2 down. The first pitch to Arendis is a fastball. Up and outside towards the belt. 85 on the gun from Murray. 1-0. He's surpassed that 70-pitch mark. There is action warming in the YD bullpen. Murray to the set. Pitch. Finds the corner this time to the left-handed hitting DC Arendis. Count 1-1. Arendis singled in the first, walked and scored in the 4th. To tie the game at 1, the Kettleers got another one from Jamison Fisher, a 2-1 lead for Cotuit with 2 down in the last of the 5th. The pitch, swing and a miss, and now caught between first and second. And ruled out. Jake Fincher caught in no man's land, thought Carthon was off on the pitch. Some poor base running as Mike Roberts has some words for his players in the dugout. Nothing doing in the 5th, a few base runners for Cotuit, but none able to come home. A 2-1 lead through 5 for the Kettleers. On the Cape Cod Baseball League Network and Channel 99, Barnstable Mashpee and Channel 13 Sandwich.
Friendly's Ice Cream, a timeless tradition since 1935, is proud to sponsor the 2014 Cape Cod Baseball League season. Baseball and ice cream, two of America's favorite pastimes. Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League and for refreshing yourself with ice-cold Coca-Cola products. Coca-Cola Bottling Co. of Cape Cod employs more than 50 full-time employees and more than 25 seasonal employees. Every year, more than 15 college students get great experience and support their education by working at Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod. Reward yourself. Have a Coke. Reebok is an official sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Stop in at Reebok's outlet store on Route 28 in West Yarmouth for great pricing on shoes, apparel, and accessories. The outlet features Reebok's latest and greatest technology such as ZigTech, RealFlex, and more. Reebok, live with fire.
Heart of the order due up here for the YD Red Sox in the top of the 6th inning. Donnie Walton, Michael Foster, and Ryan Hissey due up against Sam Toes, the big right-hander from Wichita State, college teammates. With Casey Gillespie, 2013 Falmouth Commodore, first pitch, fastball taken for a strike. 0-1 the count on the shortstop from Oklahoma State. Walton, the left-handed hitter. 0-1 from Toes. Hit on a hop to DC Arendis, gobbles it up, flips to first. 2 pitches, 1 out. Here in the top of the 6th inning. That'll bring up the northeastern left fielder, Michael Foster. Foster laced a double back in the 3rd. A 2-out double after the Red Sox scored their first run. But then Ryan Hissey grounded out after that. Foster shows bunt, pulls back. But the breaking ball at 81 taken low. Count 1-0. Sky is getting a little bit darker. Foster hits that one. Great play made by Holder. Fires across. Out number 2. Kyle Holder several times has ranged to his left on ground balls hit towards the second base bag and has been able to make some pretty nifty plays. So that'll bring up Ryan Hissey, the designated hitter from William and Mary. Hissey on the day, 0 for 2, struck out in the 2nd, grounded out 4-3 in the 3rd. Hissey in 6 at-bats this season, yet to have a hit. First pitch changeup, taken high and outside by Hissey for ball 1. 1-0 from Toes. Chop to the first baseman, Hendricks. He can't find it. It's stuck in the dirt. The throw hits the first base coach. So an error on Brendan Hendricks. And the Red Sox catch a break and get a runner on first with 2 outs. So score that in E3. That'll bring up the catcher from the University of Illinois, Jason Goldstein. Goldstein 0 for 2. He struck out swinging in the 2nd. Grounded out to short in the 4th. Taking a good 3-step lead from first is Ryan Hissey. Toes in the stretch. First pitch on the way to Goldstein. Fastball taken on the outside corner for strike 1. Goldstein regarded as one of the best hitters in the Big Ten Conference. You don't really talk about the Big Ten that much in terms of baseball on a national level. Ball in the dirt on the 0-1. Fisher does not make an attempt at a throw, and into second base safely is Ryan Hissey. So a wild pitch by Sam Toes allows Whitey to get a runner in scoring position. He was running right there, though. Ryan Hissey, not a fast guy. He was running like he was going about 99 miles an hour. And, folks, at 6:39, Brendan, what does that mean?
We're 99 minutes into the ball game.
Which means that it's sponsored by the 99 Restaurants. Hey, folks, the Colossal Lobster Roll is back at the 99 Restaurants. Visit today in Centerville, Falmouth, Mashpee, Wareham, or Yarmouth, and try one today. 1-1, scorched down the line, but foul. Count to 1 and 2. The 99 is a proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Friends, I'd recommend the Colossal Lobster Roll. I had one the other night. It was delicious. But enough about food.
You're making me hungry over here.
I might go for one of those tonight.
You're buying, right?
Yeah, you bought last night, so I guess I have to. 1-2. Fouled out of play again by Goldstein. Count remains 1-2. And you alluded to Sam Toes being recruited by Nebraska in the last inning, Brendan. And Big Ten baseball, obviously, he would have been recruited at the time where they're making the transition into the Big 12. But Sam Toes, actually that wouldn't be correct because he was recruited as a junior. They were already in the Big Ten. But to spurn a school like Nebraska to go to Wichita State, 1-2, fastball misses low, count even at 2, is quite something because he's from Lincoln, Nebraska, which is where the University of Nebraska is located. So to spurn them to go to Wichita State, that's a bold move. Toes sets, looks back at second, 2-2 offering. Goldstein hits it foul again, ranging over is Hendricks, but it'll go out of play. Especially when you have the opportunity to play for a guy who was a recent former big leaguer at Nebraska in Darren Erstad.
It's a fair point. I mean, it could have been just like a lot of college kids do. They want to go somewhere that's not exactly home, be the face of another program. Again, Darren Erstad pioneering that Nebraska team, but it could be a case of him just trying to leave home for a bit and make his name somewhere else.
2-2 on the way. Curveball just misses low. Count goes to full, 3-2.
And to his credit, it's worked. He's here in the Cape. Had a good year last year, 8-3 with a 3.27 ERA. Started 15 games for the Shockers.
Payoff upcoming to Goldstein. Chop to the shortstop holder. He'll play it on a hop. Picks it up, fires across. In time. Another great play by Kyle Holder. And after an error and a runner in scoring position, YD leaves one 120 feet away. We're through 5.5 at Lowell Park. Kettleers still cling to a 2-1 lead here on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network, Comcast, Barnstable, Mashpee, Channel 99, and Channel 13, Sandwich.
The Colossal Lobster Roll is back at the 99 restaurants. Visit today in Centerville, Falmouth, Mashpee, Wareham, or Yarmouth and try one today. The 99, proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League. A proud sponsor of the Cape League for 14 seasons, Baseball Factory holds over 600 events nationwide for players ages 8 to 18, including 3 training weeks here on the Cape. Did you know that 99% of Division I college programs have a Baseball Factory alum on their roster? Please visit baseballfactory.com to learn how you can build your way to greatness.
Friendly's Ice Cream, a timeless tradition since 1935, is proud to be the official ice cream of the Cape Cod Baseball League and bring together two of America's favorite pastimes, baseball and ice cream. Curry College offers 20 traditional undergraduate degree programs, over 65 minors and concentrations, and a wide array of extracurricular activities ranging from 14 NCAA Division III athletic teams to an outstanding theater program. Explore Curry College online at curry.edu. The 99 Restaurants has 9 real-size entrees for only $9.99. There are big, hearty portions you can count on all day, every day, like the balsamic grilled chicken or the tender and juicy top sirloin steak. The 99 Restaurants, proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
Bottom 6, new pitcher on for the YD Red Sox. Line is closed on Michael Murray. He went 5 innings, allowed 2 runs, both of them unearned. On 4 hits, he struck out 2. The new pitcher, this called the bullpen, brought to you by the Fuller Family Foundation. The Fuller Family Foundation is proud to support the excellent sportsmanship and character of the Cape Cod Baseball League, is Nick Kozlowski from Hofstra.
Went 6-5 with a 4.45 ERA. First pitch to DC Arendis taken low for a ball. In 11 starts, he struck out 44 batters, 62-plus innings. Opponents hit just .249 against Kozlowski.
1-0, swung on and missed. Kozlowski pumped that one in at 93. That's the fastest pitch that we've seen all day. The clouds are growing ever ominous here. Rain clouds coming in from the north. 1-1, skied out of play into the forest behind the snack shack down the third base side. Count to 1-2 on DC Arendis. Arendis came up to the plate in the bottom of the 5th inning, but Jake Fincher was picked off of first. Kozlowski, the 1-2, hit right to the shortstop Walton, picks it up, flips across, and Arendis is retired. 1 away.
Arendis is surrendered from short to first. Another leadoff out, but Arendis has been good today. Had the base hit, scored the run to tie it up in the 4th inning. Just rolls over on one, and I feel like when Cotuit is matched up, a lot of the times these left-handed hitters, it's either they're taking it the other way for a base hit or they're taking it the other way, giving shortstops a lot of attention.
Here's Logan Taylor. First pitch, fastball. taken on the low outside corner for a strike, 0-1.
If you can recall the first 2 games of the year, Greg, against the Hyannis Harbor Hawks, Dalton Britt, the shortstop for Hyannis, a very busy shortstop today. Same thing for Donnie Walton.
Kettleers seeming to hit a lot of balls at shortstop. This one hit right to the shortstop. Walton again makes a great play, slides into the dirt, fires across, and he got him. What a great play by Donnie Walton. Slid on a knee to get that ball as it went to the outfield grass and gets Taylor by a good 2 steps.
Well, Donnie Walton's making us sound good. Of course, we've got the predictions of the ball going towards short. This time he goes to the backhand of the slide that you said, Greg, and he put everything he could on that throw. A solid stretch at first by Fonseca. 2 down for Cotuit.
That'll bring up Jamison Fisher. Fisher reached on an error on a fielder's choice and scored on a single by Brendan Hendricks. Fisher waggles the bat. 1-0 from Kozlowski. It's a fastball taken low and away. Count to 2-0 on the catcher from Southeast Louisiana. Fisher, after a hot start in Game 1, has yet to really get it going. Has only 2 hits in 11 at-bats. 2-0 misses low. Kozlowski gets that fastball at 93 once again. And Fisher's in the catbird seat here. He's got a 3-0 count. Expect a meatball here from Kozlowski. 3-0, he had the green light, but fouls it high out of play into the Kettleers bullpen down the left field line. You surprised there, Brendan?
Yeah, I mean, Fisher batted second in opening day. Led off Thursday night's game. Tonight batting fourth. A lot of movement in the lineup.
Strike called. So after being down in the count 3-0, Kozlowski has gotten the last 2 strikes on Jamison Fisher. And the payoff will be upcoming here with 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th. The pitch, that one hit right back to Nick Kozlowski. He'll flip to first. That will retire the side. 1-2-3 go to Kettleers. We're through 6. Cotuit still clings to a 2-1 lead on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
Friendly's Ice Cream, a timeless tradition since 1935, is proud to sponsor the 2014 Cape Cod Baseball League season. Baseball and ice cream, 2 of America's favorite pastimes.
For a quarter-century on Cape Cod, Eye Health Services has been providing the best in eye care to our community. Is seeing the game not as clear this year? Having trouble seeing the stat sheet? Let us help you see all of the game up close and in the outfield. Make an appointment at one of our 10 convenient locations on Cape Cod or the South Shore. Eye Health Services. We are here for you.
Earn a bachelor's or master's degree, complete a certificate, or take a single course through the Division of Continuing Education and Graduate Studies at Curry College. Classes run days, evenings, and weekends in Milton and Plymouth. To learn more about programs in business, criminal justice, education, nursing, and more, visit curry.edu.
A proud sponsor of the Cape League for 14 seasons, Baseball Factory holds over 600 events nationwide for players age 8 to 18, including 3 training weeks here in the Cape. Did you know that 99% of Division I college programs have a Baseball Factory alum on their roster? Please visit baseballfactory.com to learn how you can build your way to greatness. Reebok is an official sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Stop in at Reebok's outlet store on Route 28 in West Yarmouth for great pricing on shoes, apparel, and accessories. The outlet features Reebok's latest and greatest technologies, such as Zig Tech, Real Flex, and more. Reebok, live with fire.
Couple of defensive changes here, friends, as we go into the top of the 7th inning. Kettleers lead 2-1. Colton Bottomley, the outfielder from Florida Gulf Coast, will take over in right. Richard Carthon moves from right to left, so Jeremy Taylor is now out of the ball game. First pitch to Rob Fonseca is taken for a strike. Cutting fastball from Toes. 0-1 the count on the Northeastern first baseman. Tries a changeup, misses low. Count even at 1-1. Fonseca on the day. 0 for 1. He struck out looking in the fourth and walked back in the second. That odd shift once again being played on Rob Fonseca. 1-1 breaking ball. Misses low. Count to 2-1.
Yeah, a lot of space on the shortstop side, closest to the bag. Kyle Holder playing well to the left side from our vantage point, to the right side from his side.
2-1 fastball, misses low and well away. We always talk about the leadoff walk statistic, in that the leadoff walk scores at least 50% of the time. Toe's trying to avoid that here, and he can't. Fastball misses well inside, about 2 inches away from hitting Fonseca on the left wrist, and he will take a 5-pitch walk to lead off the top of the 7th. That will bring up Jordan Tarsevich, the second baseman from the Virginia Military Institute. Tarsevich 1 for 2, singled in the second, and struck out looking in the fourth. First pitch swinging, skies it out of play to the right side over the first base grandstands. Count to 0-1.
Toes had that economical 5th inning. A couple of ground outs and a fly out. And just the error at first base by Hendricks in the 6th. And a leadoff walk, probably his most disturbing inning in terms of having a leadoff guy on. That 6th inning got the first 2 guys on ground outs, and that followed up by the error.
0-1 to Tarsevich. Fastball high and away. Count even at 1. Logan Taylor scooches in on the grass a little bit. Towards the hole at second base is Kyle Holder, the shortstop. Normal depth at second for DC Arendis. 1-1 breaking ball. Pull the string on him. Good curve there by Toes. Tarsevich down to the count. 1-2. Kettleers will have a doubleheader tomorrow out in Chatham. If you can't make it to the game, friends, make sure you join us on the airwaves. Kettleers warm up at 3:30. 1-2, fouled straight back. And we'll do the 1-2 again. Then an off day and a back-to-back against the Bourne Braves. A home and home Tuesday, Wednesday. And then home against the Wareham Gatemen, a makeup, coming up on Thursday. 1-2 offering. Chop to the shortstop Holder. This is going to be a tough play. Picks it up, fires across. Throw was offline. Doesn't matter. Wouldn't have gotten him anyway. So the first 2 men are aboard here in the top of the 7th. And that's going to stir some action in the Kettleers bullpen. A.J. Minter, the lefty from Texas A&M, who last pitched 2 games ago, is loosening for the Kettleers.
Of course, Sam Toes, a recent guy who just got here from Wichita State. We talked about his recruitment path, recruited by Nebraska. Epps to go to play for the Shockers. Again, had a good year, but now he's in a tough spot. First and second, nobody out. And to Scott Pickler and the rest of his staff, ask Brendan Lund to lay down a bunt perhaps. Put the go-ahead run in scoring position.
A pinch runner for Rob Fonseca. Andre Mercurio from San Jose State will take Fonseca's spot at second base. And it looks like the Red Sox are playing small ball. First pitch to Brennan Lund. He does show bunt, pulls back. Count to 1-0. So the Red Sox trying to play some small ball in order to try and get back in this game. 1-0, drag bunt down the first base side. Toes picks it up, flips to first just in time. Bang, bang play, but the sacrifice works to perfection. Mercurio moves to third. Tarsevich moves to second. And now joining Minter in the bullpen is Jeff Kinley, the closer from Michigan State. That'll bring up the 9-hitter, A.J. Simcox. Fly ball to the outfield ties this game. A base hit gives the Red Sox the lead more than likely. So Brennan Lund comes in and does his job. First pitch to Simcox. Sky to right. Bottomley will settle over at about 3 steps off the line. Makes the catch. The throw home is a dart. And Mercurio has to retreat to third. What a great play by Colton Bottomley to keep Andre Mercurio from tagging at third and trying to score.
And like you said at the top of the inning, he just entered this game. So Bottomley hasn't had many reads. Of course, during batting practice, outfielders usually play in their respective positions to get a read on baseballs, to get an idea of how the ball's coming off the bat, how it's flaring in the sky. Bottomley comes into the game fresh and throws a dart, as you said.
First pitch to Andrew Stevenson, lined foul over towards the fans sitting in lawn chairs near the Kettleers bullpen down the left field line. For as much hype as we've heard about Andrew Stevenson, the struggles continue here in the early going. He's 0 for 3 today. Pair of groundouts and a strikeout. Oh 1, taken low. Count even at 1-1. On deck is Donnie Walton, the shortstop from Oklahoma State. Toes sets at the belt. Looks back at second. The 1-1, swing and a miss. Dropped a good changeup in there. And Toes is 1 strike away from getting out of this inning unscathed. Mercurio at third. Tarcevic at second. 1-2, 2 outs. Kettleers lead 2-1. Top 7. 1-2, skied out of play to the left side over the third base grandstand. Good battle here going on between Stevenson and Sam Toes.
And Stevenson, like many leadoff hitters, is a pesky leadoff man for the LSU Tigers. Most likely going to put one in play and test this Cotuit defense. Toes, this past year with the Shockers in 82-plus innings, had just 50 strikeouts, so not a big strikeout guy.
1-2, ring him up, strike 3 called. First 2 men reach, but nobody scores, and Sam Toes works out of a jam. We'll head to the bottom of the 7th inning. Kettleers lead this one 2-1. Here on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network and Barnstable Channel 99, Mashpee, and Sandwich.
Happy 100th birthday to the Chatham Bars Inn, one of the world's most honored resorts. The Chatham Bars Inn offers the Cape's finest dining and oceanfront views. For a time you'll always remember, visit the Chatham Bars Inn. For a quarter century on Cape Cod, Eye Health Services has been providing the best in eye care to our community. Is seeing the game not as clear this year? Having trouble seeing the stat sheet? Let us help you see all of the game up close and in the outfield. Make an appointment at one of our 10 convenient locations on Cape Cod or the South Shore. Eye Health Services. We are here for you. Rockland Trust, a community bank serving families and businesses throughout Massachusetts, is proud to partner with the Cape Cod Baseball League. At Rockland Trust, each relationship matters and we're committed to supporting our community's customers and colleagues. To find out more, visit rocklandtrust.com.
Seventh inning stretch just completed. The 7th inning stretch here at Lowell Park is brought to you by the Bank of Cape Cod. Brendan Hendricks will lead it off here against Nick Kozlowski. Hendricks currently responsible for the go-ahead RBI. First pitch swinging, skies it to left on his horse, Michael Foster, and he will make the catch for out number 1. Defensive substitution here for the YD Red Sox. Josh Lester will take over at first base. So Lester, the first baseman from the University of Missouri, will take over at the first base bag. Rob Fonseca now out of the ball game. And that will bring up Colton Bottomley. Bottomley, this is his first plate appearance tonight. Had a big double in his Cape League debut on Thursday against the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. 93-mile-an-hour heater, taken for a strike, count even at 1-1 on the Florida Gulf Coast product. Kozlowski working quickly, stretches at the belt. Nubber hit right to the first baseman, Lester, and he will run it over to the bag. And the Kettleers are going quietly so far here in the bottom of the 7th.
Yeah, Kozlowski's checked in, and he's thrown nothing but shed, but getting guys in on the hands. That's been the trend here to Hendricks, as well as Bottomley. Just in on the hands, making these guys work, and if you're going to swing, you're going to be in trouble. Probably on the ground, that's what he's gotten.
Kyle Holder, first pitch swinging, hits it right to the shortstop, flips across, and another nice play by Donnie Walton. 1, 2, 3, go the Kettleers. We're through 7. One-run ball game. Stay with us, friends. You don't want to miss the end of this one.
Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League and for refreshing yourself with ice-cold Coca-Cola products. Coca-Cola Bottling Company of Cape Cod employs more than 50 full-time employees and more than 25 seasonal. Every year, more than 15 college students get great experience and support their education by working at Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod. Reward yourself. Have a Coke. Rockland Trust, a community bank serving families and businesses throughout Massachusetts, is proud to partner with the Cape Cod Baseball League. At Rockland Trust, each relationship matters, and we're committed to supporting our communities, customers, and colleagues. To find out more, visit rocklandtrust.com. The Chatham Bars Inn celebrates its 100th anniversary this year and is New England's premier oceanfront resort, a proud member of the leading hotels of the world. For a time you will always remember, visit the Chatham Bars Inn.
The Colossal Lobster Roll is back at the 99 restaurants. Visit today in Centerville, Falmouth, Mashpee, Wareham, or Yarmouth and try one today. The 99, proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
Reebok is an official sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Stop in at Reebok's outlet store. Welcome back to Lowell Park. We're through 7 innings. A 2-1 Cotuit Kettleers lead with Greg Mraz and Brendan Glasheen. 2, 3, and 4 to go up against Sam Toes, working into his 4th inning of relief for Cotuit. First pitch hacking by Donnie Walton down the left field line. Carthon on the run, makes the catch as he soars towards the left field foul pole. 1 down in the 8th.
This would be the time of the broadcast where we do a scoreboard update for you, but unfortunately, no internet out at Sandwich High School between Falmouth and Bourne, so they haven't been able to get us any updates from there, and Brewster and Hyannis once again postponed due to Hyannis' field being too wet.
Here's Michael Foster. A fastball gets away from Toes. It's outside, 1-0. Foster is 1 for 3, struck out looking in the first, doubled in the third, and grounded to third base in the 6th. Pitch lands in the dirt, 2-0. Toes, the Wichita State shocker, into his 4th inning of relief. He's been nothing short of outstanding, I'd say. The pitching effort today between he and Blake Stevens has been solid. Pitch is hammered to right center field. Colton Bottomley's on the run. It gets ahead of him. Rolls all the way to the wall. Foster stands at second base with a double and gets YD started with 1 down in the 8th inning. The tying run in scoring position for the Red Sox.
You wouldn't think a school like Northeastern could produce the type of products that they do. But of YD's 5 hits today, they have 2 extra base hits, both of them courtesy of Michael Foster.
Pair of doubles for Foster in today's game. Hit 10 doubles this past season at Northeastern. And Mike Roberts applies the hook on Sam Toes. It's either A.J. Minter or Jeff Kinley checking in for Cotuit. We'll get the pitching change next. One down in the 8th inning, a 2-1 Kettleers lead on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Reebok is an official sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Stop in at Reebok's outlet store on Route 28 in West Yarmouth for great pricing on shoes, apparel, and accessories. The outlet features Reebok's latest and greatest technologies, such as Zig Tech, Real Flex, and more. Reebok, live with fire. Rockland Trust, a community bank serving families and businesses throughout Massachusetts, is proud to partner with the Cape Cod Baseball League. At Rockland Trust, each relationship matters, and we're committed to supporting our communities, customers, and colleagues. To find out more, visit rocklandtrust.com.
Friendly's Ice Cream, a timeless tradition since 1935, is proud to sponsor the 2014 Cape Cod Baseball League season. Baseball and ice cream, two of America's favorite pastimes.
For a quarter century on Cape Cod, Eye Health Services has been providing the best in eye care to our community. Is seeing the game not as clear this year? Having trouble seeing the stat sheet? Let us help you see all of the game up close and in the outfield. Make an appointment at one of our 10 convenient locations on Cape Cod or the South Shore. Eye Health Services. We are here for you. Curry College offers 20 traditional undergraduate degree programs, over 65 minors and concentrations, and a wide array of extracurricular activities ranging from 14 NCAA Division III athletic teams to an outstanding theater program. Explore Curry College online at curry.edu. Welcome back to Lowell Park. The tying run in scoring position for the YD Red Sox against the Cotuit Kettleers. With Greg Mraz, I'm Brendan Glasheen. The day done for Sam Toes in relief. The line thus far, 3 1/3 innings pitched. He allowed 2 hits, no runs, walked 1, and struck out 1. That was Andrew Stevenson to close the 7th inning. However, he is responsible for Michael Foster at second base. New pitcher in for the Kettleers is Jeff Kinley.
Jeff Kinley on the season at Michigan State, a 2-2 record, a 2.45 ERA, 13 saves. That led the Big Ten Conference. Also led the Michigan State Spartans in appearances with 30. 2 2/3 innings so far pitched here on the Cape. No runs, technically, but allowed an inherited runner Wednesday in Hyannis.
In 2 2/3 innings pitch, first pitch to Ryan Hissey, drops outside for a ball 1-0. And, of course, Mike Roberts could be playing the matchup here, a lefty-lefty duo here between Kinley and Hissey. Has his glove upon his hip, brings it up towards his shoulder to the set. Gives Foster a look, heaves it down the plate for a strike. 73 on a gun, a slurve ball type look. Count evens at 1-1.
Another reason, though, he might be staying in for Goldstein because both Big Ten Conference products, so you have to know that Kinley probably knows a little bit more about Jason Goldstein than most of these Kettleer pitchers.
Pitch, it's fouled over the back, foul. Hits a car. Kids are on it. 1-2 with 1 down in the 8th inning, a 2-1 Cotuit lead. The tying run is at second base in Michael Foster. Pitch from Kinley, swung on and missed. He goes upstairs to strike him out. Big out for Kinley, 2 down.
That was one where the ball almost popped out of the glove of Jamison Fisher, but he held on to it. Kinley went upstairs to Ryan Hissey, and Hissey's struggles continue, reached on an error, but technically he's 0 for 4 on the evening.
Kinley struck out 22 batters in 36-plus innings pitched as a Spartan at Michigan State in 2014. First pitch to Goldstein, high and outside, ball 1. And Mike Roberts back out to the mound. He wants another pitching swap. A righty tossing for the Kettleers. Another call to the bullpen brought to you by the Fuller family. The day is done for Jeff Kinley. He gets the man Roberts wanted. Ryan Hissey Pitching change on the way at Lowell Park. 2-1 Cotuit with 2 down in the 8th inning. You're listening to Cotuit Kettleers Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
The 99 Restaurants has 9 real-size entrees for only $9.99. There are big, hearty portions you can count on all day, every day, like the balsamic grilled chicken or the tender and juicy top sirloin steak. The 99 Restaurants, proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
Rockland Trust, a community bank serving families and businesses throughout Massachusetts, is proud to partner with the Cape Cod Baseball League. At Rockland Trust, each relationship matters and we're committed to supporting our community's customers and colleagues. To find out more, visit rocklandtrust.com. A proud sponsor of the Cape League for 14 seasons, Baseball Factory holds over 600 events nationwide for players ages 8 to 18, including 3 training weeks here on the Cape. Did you know that 99% of Division I college programs have a Baseball Factory alum on their roster? Please visit baseballfactory.com to learn how you can build your way to greatness. Reebok is an official sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Stop in at Reebok's outlet store on Route 28 in West Yarmouth for great pricing on shoes, apparel, and accessories. The outlet features Reebok's latest and greatest technology such as ZigTech, RealFlex, and more. Reebok, live with fire.
Second pitching change in as many batters here at Lowell Park. A 2-1 lead for the Kettleers. With Greg Mraz, I'm Brendan Glasheen. Jeff Kinley just pitched to 1 batter, but able to strike out Ryan Hissey to record the second out of the 8th, and to record the last out of the 8th, Mike Roberts has called upon a new arm.
Gabe Berman, the right-hander from Western Michigan, one of the Broncos, 1-3 on the season with a 2.62 ERA in Kalamazoo, had 9 saves, which led all relievers for the Western Michigan Broncos. Second on the team in total team ERA, had a 3.18 ERA in 28 1/3 innings pitched. In 2013, he pitched 34 1/3 innings this past season, so this is a guy that is used to pressure situations. And he's got another pressure situation right here, tying run at second with 2 outs.
Has to face Jason Goldstein, the catcher of Illinois. Runner at second base, Michael Foster. 2 down, an RBI chance for YD. 1-0 pitch outside. Again, recall, Mike Roberts made the pitching change, 1 ball into the count. 2-0 count. Gabe to the set, to pitch. Struck up the middle, it goes off of him. He's able to recover, picks it up with his right hand, throws to first in time. Gabe Berman had the baseball strike just off of his left wrist. Picks it up and throws to first base to end the inning. A combination of Toes, Kinley, and Berman to end the 8th. 7.5 done here at Lowell Park. 2-1 Cotuit. You're listening to Kettleers Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League and for refreshing yourself with ice-cold Coca-Cola products. Coca-Cola Bottling Co. of Cape Cod employs more than 50 full-time employees and more than 25 seasonal employees. Every year, more than 15 college students get great experience and support their education by working at Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod. Reward yourself. Have a Coke. For a quarter century on Cape Cod, Eye Health Services has been providing the best in eye care to our community. Is seeing the game not as clear this year? Having trouble seeing the stat sheet? Let us help you see all of the game up close and in the outfield. Make an appointment at one of our 10 convenient locations on Cape Cod or the South Shore. Eye Health Services. We are here for you.
A proud sponsor of the Cape League for 14 seasons, Baseball Factory holds over 600 events nationwide for players age 8 to 18, including 3 training weeks here in the Cape. Did you know that 99% of Division I college programs have a Baseball Factory alum on their roster? Please visit baseballfactory.com to learn how you can build your way to greatness.
We're back at Lowell Park, last of the 8th inning. Greg Mraz and Brendan Glasheen giving you Cotuit Kettleers baseball. First pitch to the pinch hitter, Casey Schroeder. The lefty takes a fastball in the outside corner. The count 0-1. Schroeder from Polk State College strikes it to left. Under it, though, Foster has to lift his glove above his head to make the catch. Schroeder's down on 2 pitches, one down to the last of the 8th.
Even though the Kettleers are winning this game, Brendan, I think we talked about the pitching matchup today. YD pitching, except for a couple of miscues in the 4th inning, they've actually won the battle, although both staffs have pitched incredibly well.
Richie Carthon swings right through a fastball from Kozlowski. 0-1 the count. 5 hits, 1 run for YD. 4 hits, 2 runs for Cotuit. Carthon lifts it to the left side. Foul. Above the snack shack, close to the batting cages at Lowell Park. Michael Murray went 5 innings, allowed 4 hits, 2 runs. Walked 2 and struck out 2. The Florida Gulf Coast pitcher was masterful, despite possibly being on the hook tonight. Carthon takes an off-speed pitch outside, 1-2, a waste pitch. Goldstein back in the crouch. Protects the sign with his glove. To the set, the pitch. Almost the same spot as 2 pitches ago as Carthon sends it foul behind us. 1-2 comes up once more.
You talk about the excellence of Donnie Walton at shortstop tonight. Well, he would be the reason why Murray would be on the hook for the loss.
Carthon over to short. Walton scoops it. Shoots it over in time. 2 down.
And it's just because of that throw that he made on the Jamison Fisher ground ball that ended up scoring DC Arendis. But great statistic here, friends. Of the last 8 putouts, Donnie Walton has made 4 of them.
In total, he has 8. It's been a busy shortstop position when you play the Cotuit Kettleers. First pitch to Jake Fincher, a fastball in the outside corner. 0-1. It's 7:18 Eastern Time, so the time now becoming a factor. Fincher lifts it to the right side. Backing up are Lester and Tarcevic. Tarcevic makes the catch on the lip of the right field grass to retire the side. 1-2-3 go the Kettleers, but out they go on the diamond to possibly close victory number 1 at the end of 8. 2-1 Cotuit. You're listening to Cotuit Kettleers Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Friendly's Ice Cream, a timeless tradition since 1935, is proud to be the official ice cream of the Cape Cod Baseball League and bring together 2 of America's favorite pastimes, baseball and ice cream. Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League and for refreshing yourself with ice-cold Coca-Cola products. Coca-Cola Bottling Company of Cape Cod employs more than 50 full-time employees and more than 25 seasonal. Every year, more than 15 college students get great experience and support their education by working at Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod. Reward yourself. Have a Coke.
Earn a bachelor's or master's degree, complete a certificate, or take a single course through the Division of Continuing Education and Graduate Studies at Curry College. Classes run days, evenings, and weekends in Milton and Plymouth. To learn more about programs in business, criminal justice, education, nursing, and more, visit curry.edu.
Top of the 9th inning at Lowell Park, the Kettleers on the verge of victory number 1 in Game 3 of the 2014 regular season. Greg Mraz and Brendan Glasheen giving you the call of today's game. Be sure to join us for the Cotuit Kettleers post-game show. Hopefully get a player on the air with us and discuss tonight's game. So 1 batter each for Kinley and Gabe Berman. And new pitcher on the mound, Adam Witt for Cotuit.
Adam Witt on the season, a 5-5 record at Nevada. He had 7 saves. That led the team. A 3.71 ERA, 30 appearances. That also led the team. He also led the team in innings pitched for a reliever with 53 and a third. He's a submarine pitcher. Coach Roberts likes to have at least one of those on the roster at a time. And we were talking about this before we went back on the air, that it'll be very interesting to see how this 9th inning plays out. It was kind of anticipated before the season. Another change of note, Ian Rice now takes over behind the plate for Jamison Fisher. But Klotz was brought in to save the ball game on Thursday against Hyannis. Wasn't able to do it. And this may either be a temporary change, or maybe Coach Roberts has seen something in Witt that we haven't seen yet.
And Klotz allowed a big double to Ben DeLuzio, rather a triple, to win the game for Hyannis in the 9th inning. First pitch from Witt, a fastball low below the knees. They count 1-0. He'll face 6, 7, and 8. It's Josh Lester in place of Rob Fonseca, Tarcevic, and then Lund. The 1-0 to Lester. Breaking ball, breaks inside. It gets away from Rice, 2-0.
Very interesting that Lester took over at first base, because he, on Missouri's website, it says he is their everyday shortstop, which at least that's what he was as a sophomore, but he played every infield position at least 4 times as a freshman.
Witt to the set, the sidearm delivery 2-0, a fastball outside corner to the left-handed hitting Lester. They count 2-1. Greg, you know what's also interesting? 3 straight 1-run games. That's what we have on board right now. A 3-2 loss on opening day, a 6-5 loss in your home opener, and now a 2-1 lead against an Eastern Division rival. Count to 3-1 to Josh Lester. Adam Witt trying to close the deal. The 5th Cotuit pitcher today, the 2-1. Fastball dips outside, ball 4. Down to first goes Lester. And the YD Red Sox have the tying run at first base. Now a pinch runner checks in.
It'll be Vincent Jackson, the outfielder from Tennessee.
Not to be confused with the Vincent Jackson of the Tampa Bay Bucks.
This Vincent Jackson is 6'5", very much like the size of the Vincent Jackson of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This Vincent Jackson, 7 for 11 on the year at Knoxville, Tennessee in steals. So for a guy who stands at 6'5", 205, he's got a little bit of speed.
And he's yet to steal a base this season. Jackson stands at first base, nobody out in the 9th. The 2-1 Cotuit lead in search of its first victory of the season. Jordan Tarcevic, the batter, faces Witt. In at third base, Logan Taylor. The pitch up and inside at the belt, but off the corner, 1-0. Tarcevic is 2 for 3. Singled in the 2nd, struck out looking in the 4th, and singled in the 7th. Has the open stance with the black Under Armour cleats. Witt checks in at first base with Hendricks to make sure Jackson doesn't get too far off the bag.
Scott Pickler has a great talent as a head coach for scouting talent that maybe not a whole lot of other coaches see.
The pitch, grounded towards third. Taylor to second for 1. The throw to first is nowhere near in time. The Kettleers get the force hit second. Jackson retired 5-4. And over to first base, Tarcevic on a fielder's choice. So 1 down to the 9th. Lester able to walk. Jackson pinch runs. He's thrown out at second by Logan Taylor. Brings up Brennan Lund. The BYU right fielder is 0 for 2. Grounded to first in the 2nd inning. Flew to left in the 5th. Applied a sacrifice bunt in the 7th. Ian Rice, the catcher, gives Witt his sign. With a 45-degree angle, he closes. Now checks on at first again. The Kettleers won 30 games for the first time in Mike Roberts' tenure as head coach last year. They're still in search of victory 1 tonight. Wait a quick check at first. No tag applied by Hendricks. 1 down, ninth inning, a 2-1 lead. The third straight one-run game the Kettleers find themselves in. Witt gets his sign from Rice, is to the set. The glove behind his head, slurves around the pitch, grounded towards the right side. Hendricks to the dive. He tags the bag. A big out number 2 by Brendan Hendricks. And the Kettleers are 1 out away from their first win of the year.
What a play by Brendan Hendricks. Laying out full extension on the dirt. Gets up, recovers, tags the bag. If he doesn't get to that ball, more than likely, Jordan Tarsevich finds himself on third base.
Keynote, Tarsevich does advance to second, so the tying run is in scoring position. Brings up A.J. Simcox of Tennessee. The Volunteer wouldn't mind helping himself out with a base hit. Takes a strike from Witt, 0-1. Adam Witt tries to close the deal to send the Kettleers to victory number 1. Of Nevada. Witt's 0-1. Tails outside, evens the count at 1-1. Outfield in regular depth. A base hit could possibly score the tying run. Logan Taylor and Brendan Hendricks play close to the bags. Taylor is in, even with the bag. Taylor far back towards the grass. Arendis teasing second base. The pitch on the corner, strike 2. They're 1 strike away. The Kettleers faithful clap their hands in unison. Witt looks in for his sign from Ian Rice. Simcox fiddles with the bat. He's ready above his shoulder. Witt to the set. The pitch just gets a piece into the screen. Foul. 1-2 comes again. Five hits, 1 run for YD, 4 hits, 2 runs for Cotuit. The tying run is at second base. The go-ahead run at the plate in A.J. Simcox. Witt gets his sign. The glove behind his head to the set. The pitch. Way too far out, ball 2. Again, tomorrow night, we're in Chatham for a doubleheader. The Kettleers travel to Veterans Field to play the Anglers. 4 o'clock and 7 o'clock. Kettleers warm-up starts at 3:30. 2-2 the count. Witt to the set. The pitch. Swung on and missed. He got him. And the Cotuit Kettleers have found victory number 1 of the 2014 season. The defending champions defeat the YD Red Sox 2-1 at Lowell Park. High fives all around.
Good first win for the Kettleers, and this is exactly what you want. A game where your offense really wasn't at its best, but you got enough to get the job done, and the W in the win column, getting the monkey off the back, that's what matters the most.
We're going to have Blake Stevens hopefully on the air with us to discuss his start. He was the one that led the way for these Kettleers to get victory number 1. The YD Red Sox dropped to 0-3. The Kettleers now 1-2. And Coach Mike Roberts in year 11 gets a victory over another highly tenured coach in the Cape League, Scott Pickler. More Kettleers post-game action coming next on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
The Chatham Bars Inn celebrates its 100th anniversary this year and is New England's premier oceanfront resort, a proud member of the leading hotels of the world. For a time you will always remember, visit the Chatham Bars Inn.
Happy 100th birthday to the Chatham Bars Inn, one of the world's most honored resorts. The Chatham Bars Inn offers the Cape's finest dining and oceanfront views. For a time you will always remember, visit the Chatham Bars Inn.
It's time for the Kettleers Insider Postgame Show on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. With a wrap on tonight's ball game, here's Brendan Glasheen and Greg Moraz.
It wasn't easy, but they got it done. Cotuit, third straight one-run game, finds itself on the winning side, 2-1. 4 hits, 2 runs to YD's 5 hits, 1 run. Greg Mraz is going to grab Sam Toes, who pitched masterfully in relief. 3 1/3 innings pitched. Allowed 2 hits, no runs, a walk, and a strikeout. Or either get Sam Toes, or Blake Stevens, who went the first 4 innings today for the Kettleers. Pitched 4 innings, allowed 3 hits, 1 run, walked 1, and struck out 7. Struck out 5 of the first 9 batters he faced. So Cotuit is on its way to victory number 1. Let's remind you how we got there. Of course, there's other games around the Cape League that we'll get to. At the moment, Greg will fetch Sam Toes or Blake Stevens. We'll let you know as soon as he gets back up here. But it started off a scoreless game for the first 2 innings. YD grabbed a run in the top of the 3rd inning, and there became a lot of hectic action going on in the 4th inning. A first and second balk call on today's starter for the YD Red Sox, Michael Murray, disturbed head coach Mike Roberts. Had a long discussion with home plate umpire Tony Letizio. After all that, the Kettleers were able to find 2 runs in the 4th inning to take a 2-1 lead, and nothing but zeros after that. Both runs, it should be noted, that were scored by Cotuit today were unearned towards YD pitching. So even though the Kettleers find itself victorious, they're nowhere near a finished product. The pitching has been great later half of the ball game, but at the end of the day, had an error also. It's now their 5th error of the season. But some key performances, no question, up and down the order. Runs scored by D.C. Arendis and Jamison Fisher. Fisher also had a huge slide into home plate to get that second run. It was a play at shortstop. Donnie Walton, the shortstop of YD, threw a bullet to home plate. Jason Goldstein, the catcher for the Red Sox, did not catch the baseball, but had he, would have been a close play. However, Fisher creatively slid into home plate to get the job done and give the Kettleers the run it needed to win the ball game. A 2-1 final at Lowell Park. If you're just joining us, Greg Mraz is fetching Sam Toes or Blake Stevens. The winning pitcher in today's game is Sam Toes. Big 2 runs in that 4th inning. Actually, the win may go to Blake Stevens because he went the 4th inning. Got some help in the bottom half of the inning. Let's take a look around the rest of the league. On the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. One moment here. Again, the big win today for the Cotuit Kettleers sends the Yarmouth Dennis Red Sox to 0-3. Cotuit now 2-0. Some scores going around. There is no update in Sandwich. It's Sandwich's 375th birthday. Bourne and Falmouth are underway there. We'll try and get a look on Twitter to see what the score of that game is. Cotuit YD, of course, you just saw a 2-1 final. And the only other game going on, Orleans, has jumped out to a 3-0 lead ahead of the Chatham Anglers at Veterans Field. We will be in Chatham tomorrow night. Be sure to join us at 3:30 for the Kettleers warm-up. 3:30 start. 2 7-inning ball games tomorrow at Veterans Field. First game begins at 4 o'clock. Second game begins at 7 p.m. Greg and I will have all the coverage at Veterans Field. The Anglers, of course, the best record in the Eastern Division last season, did not represent the East in the championship game last year as the Orleans Firebirds upset them in the second round to advance. Coach Mike Roberts speaking with most of the players on the left field line now. A big win for the Cotuit Kettleers. First win of the 2014 season. Of course, last year, Mike Roberts